No, we're good. Oh.
So is it shared? Okay, cool. So are we shared to everywhere?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let me
especially in the group. So we're
especially in the group. So we're on the group right now.
We want to make the group. Yeah, we're on my
okay.
page so the people will know that they can go to our group.
Make
the group bigger.
So this is the first time, right?
Yeah, first time.
First time. Like this is us.
First time. Be gentle.
Yeah, they've got a cam. We have the camera. Camera is on this side. I'm trying to find out where we're at here so I can see myself. There we go. So I'm like, let me kill my volume so I can't hear myself, but at least I can see myself.
Hey guys, how you doing?
All right, cool. So Jason, thank you so much for joining up. Like you got a chance now. Like go ahead and share that out for.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be able to share this.
So Michael, hey buddy, I love you. This is like my little brother. I want to say thank you to him. Like the guys are supporting. So.
So you going live on your phone?
I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm watching it from here, and I'm trying to figure out, like, how I can share this out for everybody else to see. So I said, we'll figure this out.
It's all good. See, you're watching everything raw and live. Right. That's why I brought the other thing, so I can put your phone. I brought my tripod, so I can put it right there. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good. It happens.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. So, first and foremost, to say welcome to Breaking Bread with Ray, Charles, and Jesus. We're still trying to get everything lined up and figured out where we are right now. I see we got 7 people watching here. I don't know what to say. I can't see every person, but the basis of what we're doing while we're here is that at this table here in the shop, we're live at Lucky Chucky's Chop Shop in Old Katy. A lot of people come to the shop that me and my son have built, and we spend a lot of time sitting at the table. People come in, and I'm real prone to sit at the table. Yeah, we sit at the table.
A lot of conversation been had over the table.
Good conversation. And this is, like I said, something that was a brainchild of Ray he come up with, and we kicked around, and we kept trying to look for, like, where do we start? What would we do? Are we going to talk about the shop? Are we going to talk about products? Are we going to, and then Jesus posted on the Dads of Houston, hey, who would like to have a podcast so that, who's interested in having something to say, who feels like they got something to say. So anybody who knows me, the last thing they need to do is get me talking, because I ain't never shutting up. But anyway, so the idea here is that is kind of just to sit down. Ray provided some wonderful chili for us that we're gonna sit down and eat. Look, a little dinner.
One of the good things about friends and community is really eating together, right? Yeah. That's the way that friendships are formed, bonds are made and strengthened. So hey, look, eating over some good food, having good conversation, and just really mixing it up with everybody, that's going to be online today too.
You know what I thought?
What's that?
I thought that you were going live on your phone.
That's what I'm going to do. Yes, Kelvin. This is Brazilian Ray from back in the day at the gym. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We look forward to having you join us one day at the shop too. We will be moving locations in the next few weeks to just 2 minutes down the street.
The same way next time? We'll bring all the tripod?
So we're still trying to figure our way through. But we do want to open this up to invite so that other men, fathers, husbands have a place to come once a week, hang out with us, do some Q&A. Like I said, Ray, you said you're raising cattle, so we're getting...
Yeah, so what this is, what we brought today is it's really grass-fed ground chili meat. So right now what I'm doing is I work with local farmers, and basically I'm selling cows. I'm selling meat, grass-fed beef. So it's something that's kind of I'm always into dieting. I'm always into eating, and the best thing I think that we need to do is always raise the level of how we're actually eating. So sometimes you got to take the middleman out of the equation and go directly to the source, and that's what I've done. Is I'm dealing directly with local farmers with local raised meat. So a lot of times we don't know where our meat even comes from. So I can tell you exactly where this cow was. I picked them up myself.
Mine usually comes from Whataburger. From time to time. Like, that's the life of owning a shop. So here we have, let me turn this around for those who are on the live feed so that you can see. I'd say we're figuring this out. So patience with this, but this looks good. And what did you say is in the bottle here? We got.
So look, don't. That's that nitro. You know what I mean? You can't shake it up.
You listen?
Nitro. So basically, this is some hot sauce, that Brazilian hot sauce. So it's a little bit different, right? It's called pimenta.
Pimienta.
So it's not just like the normal Louisiana hot sauce that we use a lot of times. So So I can tell people, you know, I was just telling the guys, look, this was formulated right next door to where the vaccine was created. So it's some high end stuff. This is octane. This is what, 93.
So let me get you.
But what I do say is, you know, put a drop or two as you start off, right? Don't just, you know, pour it on there.
You say crawl before you walk.
Hey,
right?
hey, because it'll sneak up on you. I like it because this one is not real hot for me, but the heat levels sneak up on you.
I'm gonna get these oyster crackers. Yeah, I gotta get my crackers. All right, so we're gonna try this chili. It's supposed to be so fire, and get going. Again, let me see how many people. I'm trying to see who I got live here who's following.
We have 9 people right now.
We have 9 people. Yeah. 9. Actually, I can't see the 9. That's why I really want to have the extra.
Oh yeah, and
I'm learning that next week. Next week
we're good. Like I said, right now when I sit down, now we got 12. I will definitely start sharing it.
All right, so if you're on here right now, if you're watching me, please take a moment, share this live feed, share this out to everybody. Like I said, we're really just trying to come together. One of how long we've known each other for a minute.
I was just asking about it, right? Yeah, it's been a long time. We met at Gold's Gym. A lot of people probably remember us, like I said, from Gold's Gym.
Yeah.
And I started in Gold's in 2000. Date myself. It's 2006, man.
2006. I moved to Houston in 2007. Yeah. And it was one of the first things I did was like come down here. And I was like, man, I got to get myself in the gym.
Right.
Yeah. And then I had to find somebody that could encourage me and say, hey, man, I want to be big like this guy one day. Obviously, you can see he spends a little more time hitting it than I do.
I spend time more at the dinner table than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyhow, so we get that bread.
I'm already started. I'm breaking bread.
Let's break this.
Here we go. We're breaking bread.
We're break this and we'll break this little piece off. Give this a moment here, and let's say, when we give thanks.
Absolutely.
Give thanks and say, Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time of friendship and community. We thank you for the bread that you give us. We thank you that you continue to provide. We ask, God, that you encourage those who watch and bring those in, but more so than ever, God, help us to let this be nourishment for our body. Let's enjoy this good time.
Amen.
In your name, amen.
Amen.
All right, so let me get Jesus here. When he's ready, he can get settled in. We're going to get some intros going. We got some Q&A. As we're watching, we got some topics. There's something you guys want to discuss, you want to talk about. Like I said, one of the things for us here at the shop is when we come in and we sit down, we sit around this table. Like this table's been a base point of, it was the old table from my home. And, you sit around the table, you have those kind of conversations. Family driven kind of conversations. Right. That a lot of that is hello guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and share.
We're on Instagram there, so
we're on the Instagram, so we got the live Instagram feed. What Instagram is this running?
That's in my Instagram.
Okay, so what Instagram?
It's
brothers
Gerald D Media. I'll write it.
You know what, man? I'd love to be able to pronounce that, but I still ain't learned that
far. Oh, damn, we have a lot of comments in
there.
here.
If you can get that,
we already getting comments.
Yeah. Let me sit down here.
There's my cousin David. David, thank you for joining, man. I love you. I look forward to breaking bread again with you. Thanksgiving can't get here fast enough.
Michael Cerna said, "What up? Breaking some of that bread."
Yeah, break it. Like I say, we're looking forward. We're really looking forward to the people who are watching. Like I say, next week we're gonna post. If you're interested, send us an inbox, send us a DM. We'll get you an invite, which we're trying to figure out what we're going to have every week. Like I said, Ray's busy with the cattle, and I know you got a lot of good grain food, and we're going to try to feed, your mind, body, soul. Try to get these things together, and like I said, good food never can beat good food. Anyhow, so
hey guys, the people that are watching this on the groups, I know that I'm not able to see your face, but when I went live, it sends you a little link that you can go out there so we can see who are you, because it only says Facebook user, and we want to know who you are.
Right. All right. So
thank you.
I've got 6 on. I got 6 on live. I got 7 on live over here.
We got 11.
So we got 11. We're good. Now, my biggest fear was we were going to log on in 15, 20 minutes. It's like one person.
No.
They're done.
We got 75 members already in the group.
75 in the group, and that's just the Breaking Bread. Breaking Bread, Ray, Charles, Jesus.
Yeah.
So a little bit about that. Let's get something. You want to get to?
Oh yeah. That's why, like,
how much can I get you there, my friend?
Oh, you give me.
What can I serve you? You ready for that Brazilian double tap
Yeah,
sauce?
man.
Whatever it is.
The
it's
whole
super
day
hot.
I want to try Ray.
Hey,
I'm trying not to knock my own stuff over.
And my mind, I hear a bodybuilder, he gonna cook something. It's fit for everybody.
You can guarantee a couple of things. You're gonna put muscle on you and spend a little time on the toilet after it's over with. That's what the high protein content is good for. For those of you who've never experienced it, I definitely
Thank you,
suggest
sir.
it.
Chile.
all right.
What do you get?
Oh yeah.
I want to drop it too.
You wanna eat that?
I want to drop it too. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's see what this is. Ooh, I got that cheese. Can I get that cheese on the other side? All right, sir. Please pass that. Thank you. All right. Where we at? We're down to 7. We got a few other people. Yo. Hello. Thank you for following. Thank you for checking in. We're going to have a little something to eat here. Like I said, share dinner with us. Get into these topics. We are going to discuss the no mask since we're not masked up, but we are eating at the same time. We're
Right.
far enough apart from each other. So,
Any
we
questions?
get into that?
Y'all
Yeah.
can hear us or anything. Let us know.
Yeah.
I can see through here to the comments like, hey guys, I cannot hear you.
See, that's what I want to see next week. I want to have that be able to get logged on here and multiple places. Melissa McGuire, thank you so very much. Find my brother. Tell him I love him. I wish George was here with us, having something to eat. I always have a lot to say, but you're probably married to the absolute most interesting person that you would ever meet. I'm telling you, this guy's amazing. He's a legend in his own. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian Mendoza.
Mendoza, thank you so much. Like, actually, I think Brian was the one who invited me to the Dads of Houston to start with. I think that's how I got the invite.
Somebody got a question. She said, what sauce is that?
What sauce?
They just asked that.
Look here. I can't talk much about the sauce because I don't need to be on the FBI's most wanted list.
You got a spoon there?
Oh yeah.
But it's the hit, right?
So,
Thank you.
my wife is Brazilian, and this sauce is Brazilian made. It's we call it pimenta, which means really just hot sauce. So, all right.
Oh, man.
I tried to
I
tell
only
him,
put
you
two.
want to put 3.
They put 3.
All right.
Yeah.
See? All right.
Let's see what the heat does. I'm already starting to
Look,
sweat.
I'm sweating.
Is
Hopefully the camera can't pick up that, the sweat.
So like I say, a little bit here. So getting to the introductions.
Yeah, sir. You can
Hey,
start.
tell us about yourself. Like I said, we have this opportunity. Alfonso, what's up, my buddy? We have this opportunity because, like I said, I got invited to a Facebook group, and Jesus, we're able to learn a little more about what you do here with your media and marketing. I'm sure there's other people who want to be in the same kind of situation. You feel like you got something to say. Maybe you're more interesting than we are, but I like you, man. I like you. I like hanging out with you. You're one of my favorite people. So,
Hey, I know that Instagram, y'all cannot see me, but you can hear me. Thank you. But over here, what's up, guys? I'm happy to be here. I'm breaking bread, man. Breaking bread. I don't even have bread. Come on, Ray.
You didn't miss that, did you?
You see that? You saw that picture we put?
Break that bread.
Yeah, and I'm blessed, man. I came here last week and we sat down and we stayed here really late. I mean, Ray left and we stayed here still.
Did
We still stayed.
Yeah, we stick around talking to them. We got to know what they
Yeah.
But I like we have had a chance to really sit down and get to know each other.
Yep.
Talk about some things that we go through as fathers, and that's one of the things I really want to use this for is to encourage other men to take care of, like I said, the household, where you've been at, what you've been through. We've all been through something.
That's
like
right.
everybody's got a story, right? And I think just sharing the little pieces that we have, hopefully help somebody else out. Like I said,
Yeah.
it does have a little kick to it, man.
He does.
It's
It's
got a
good.
little bite. I don't know. Like I said,
It's that slow motion hot
that's
sauce.
slow motion.
So this is our first very podcast, with Ray and Charles and myself, and as you can see, we're still getting it and everything. Don't worry, because he's gonna talk about a little bit with the movement and all of that stuff. So this is just the beginning of something that is gonna be powerful for everybody, man. A community, yes, to be here breaking bread, praying and knowing things about talking about current events or talking about something that happened to us, something that we can talk and share and give value to you guys. Like on the podcast, I have my own podcast, and that's what I do. I help the youth and small businesses, local businesses out there.
There's no reason to exit.
Woo! And that's why when he decided to tell me, I was like, man, let's get it.
Let's go.
Let's get it done. So that's just me, guys. Any questions, about podcasting, anything, I'm right here for you. But today I want to talk about that. We're here about breaking bread. We're here about talking our opinions and everything. So out there, man, don't get.
Yeah, no. I say I'm very thankful. I like the things that, like I say, we're going to talk about some of the things that he's into. Let's say childpreneurship, helping children establish, like, getting to like us. Like, we waited a little late to get in the game.
Right.
43, right? And we didn't even talk about it.
I'm so young. I'm so young. Yeah. I get carded still.
But
no, I'm 49. I'm
49. So, and Jesus, you're where we at?
I'm 35.
35. So we're 35, 43, 49, right? Yeah. And we're at that spot that we're thinking about, exiting the game. I don't want to work forever, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, watching people get older, the whole 2020 coronavirus got you pinned in.
That's right.
Makes you start thinking about things a little differently.
That's right.
I don't want to work forever.
Nope.
The thing is, I don't want to work because I have to.
You shouldn't have to work because you have to. The main thing is, if you can move into something that you love or something that's just a real strong interest for you, that's where you need to be. And then if you turn that into something that can make $1,
turn your passion into it.
If you can do that, then you're not even working. That's just something that keeps you busy. And I think that we always have to stimulate our mind, because if we don't, then we feel like we're spinning our wheel and we keep looking for something that's going to get us more excited and more interested. So
this is good, man. I feel bad eating in front of everybody, but hey, I'm telling you, this recipe.
So look, now I'll tell you this.
You got a question already, right?
I'll tell you this real quick about the chili. The chili. So my wife is Brazilian, and they don't have chili in Brazil. They don't even make chili. So this is her trying her hand. I said, hey, look, this is the recipe. And so she kind of followed the recipe, did a little bit of some of this, some of that. So that's what we got.
And I'm telling you, though, like I entered a chili contest before, and I showed up, and they were like, you got beans in the chili.
So there's beans in this chili.
If it hadn't been beans in the chili, I might have been a little hurt. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting something else, and you say you're bringing something.
That's right.
I have my own variation of of my own style of chili that I like, but this is, like I said,
it's good.
Kick sauce, bro. Like, listen, when you bring it in like this, and I can't see the color,
right.
I don't even tell if there's like peppers in there or something.
It's secret.
Yeah, it definitely. I you know what it is? I feel my metabolism. I feel the pounds starting to sweat off of me. I'm going to get done with this. I'm on a 6-pack like you.
Look, I'm trying. My 6 turned into 4, turned into 2.
I just need to eat this a couple times a week. Cardio is it. Listen, with this, that's a hit.
It's not.
That's a hit. That's good. That's good stuff.
I understand. You say you wanted to talk about relationships, friendship.
Yeah, relationships, friendships. Like I said, I was supposed to be running a timer on this. I don't have a watch. I don't wear a watch. I'm one of those bad people who don't wear a watch.
It's 7:18, so you're good. We're 18 minutes. So,
but we figured, 20, 25 minutes of just kind of getting something to eat, getting it settled in, see how many people we got on, see who we were talking to.
We got 12 people right now.
So we're at 12, right? So the 12 of you who are watching, please share this out with others. We're about to get into what the bread is all really about, and that's that daily eating of where we're at.
Yeah.
It's not something we can do every day, but it's something definitely looking forward to once a week coming together.
Oh, definitely.
A meal.
You want to answer this question, both of you? And then when we start running and breaking bread. Okay. This guy, Michael Cerna, I just met this guy just like you did. He came to visit me at the city center, and it's just like us blessed. Nice. Yes. What drives you, bro? What principles should entrepreneurs live by?
What drives you?
And we can answer. You can start rating, and then we just go, and then we.
Yeah. So,
we got 14.
What you driving?
What you driving outside?
What you driving?
No, I just wanted to make it laugh.
Man, I gotta push my Flintstones. I just gotta get a Forza.
So this, I'll be honest. When it comes to me, I think I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. Even before I knew the word entrepreneur, I knew that I wanted to, buy for one and sell for two. I mean, real basic principle, right? So as a kid in middle school, man, my parents didn't have a lot of money. So in order for me to get a little hustle on, I sold candy. I'd buy a box of blow pops, now later.
You were getting me for an extra quarter on a piece of gum.
I was that kid. Look, I sold so much candy that I had money at the end of the semester in school to where I was buying clothes with it. I was able to buy those clothes that my parents couldn't, So I've had an entrepreneur spirit since then. You've got to be able to want to do something for yourself. Here's the other thing. we lose it because we get into that rat race where it puts us in this model of, okay, if you do good, you'll excel and you'll make a little bit more money. Once you get into that rat race of working for somebody, you forget about the entrepreneurial spirit. So when I sit down and we talk a lot of times, you've always had this entrepreneurial spirit. You've always talked about, you know what? I'm not going to work. I'm going to do this. My idea now and what I've learned through my experience is you should not be working for somebody. You should work for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you are working for someone else, they are setting your goals and they're telling you how much you can make. In reality, the sky is the limit. So if you remember that, go out and do what you need to do. But whatever it is, if you want to sell candy, sell candy. For me, I got a little deeper into diets. I got deeper into the foods that we eat. What we put in our body is important. So that's why I said, hey, look, grass-fed beef is really, really expensive normally if you go out there and buy it. But I found a way that, hey, look, working with people, you can actually provide a product that's cheaper but higher in quality than what you're going to buy in the store. And when you taste grass-fed beef, it tastes different than what you buy in the store.
Kind of that is like, you want it done right, do it yourself.
Look,
and if you're doing it right enough for yourself, other people are going to want to have a part of that. That's kind of, yeah. See that? This is good.
Yeah.
That is good.
Pretty good, Ray.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't taste any of that hot sauce hitting. No, it's perfect, man. It's really perfect.
Joshua said, love you guys. Love the look of your set. He's going to love it when we go over there, right?
What's up?
We're trapped in now. We're definitely growing. So entrepreneurship, wow, man. I always wanted to do it. Right? I graduated. I remember graduating high school. I went to a carpentry class for a couple of years there in high school. Went to the trade school. Basically, just I wanted to hang out with my friends. I didn't want to, you know what I mean. I'm a C minus student, and I just had a hard time, you know, in high school staying focused on, I guess what they wanted to teach us, what I was supposed to be learning. Like, it was dry. I didn't see it applicable. The bad thing is now today, like I do a lot of algebra, I do a lot of geometry, especially building the chassis and bending tubing and figuring out how to make all my own stuff. So those things, maybe I should have paid a little more attention in school. Thankfully, I got an opportunity to go spend some time at a community college for a job that I had. And when I did, I went back and ended up on the dean's list.
Wow.
So I went from being a C- student to somebody who went to the college and ended up on the dean's list. And I was very fortunate in what I was doing to work through that. But I was 35. I was working for a forging company here in town. We had irreconcilable differences. Let's leave it like that. You remember that? I came into. I was like, you know what? I was done. I was working that rat race. I was, 50 to 60 hours a week at the plant. I was still trying to lift weights.
You're team leader or manager, right?
Yeah, I was managing.
Yeah.
I was running the maintenance department, taking care of everything, and kind of just got thrown into the job. And when I got there, some of the upper bosses that we had, I was like, the way they talked to me, I'm like, I don't think I don't deal well with you talking down to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to talk to me, we can discuss it, but don't come down because you failed at your job and then come tell me how I got it. So we butted heads. It took about 9 months. I said we had some irreconcilable differences between myself and them, and I made the exit. That was, I got hired on my daughter's birthday. That's weird. I got hired on my daughter's birthday. And years later, it was my son's birthday, and they were like, "Hey, man, it's time to take your stuff and go home." And I was like, what they didn't know is I'd already packed my bags like a couple days before. You know the relationship's out, right?
You already know.
You know. And I was like, where am I going to go and what am I going to do? Like, I'm 35, so I don't know. I don't really know where I'm headed at.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do. I called a friend of mine. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's on the camera now, but she said, "Hey, I had this dream. You had a business called Max Metal, signs in blue. You can see the highway from the front door." And I was like, you know what? That's all I needed. I just needed somebody else to say, you know what? I had this thought, just like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm that kid. My friends who know me that was bad about that. They said, give me a chance to do it. I was always like, I'll go show you that. Tell me I can't.
That's right.
Tell me I can't.
That's the type of person.
Tell me I can't, and I'll find every way to show you that I can't.
Yeah.
So anyway, after a couple of years of bouncing around back and forth, like I said, actually become an entrepreneur. I own a couple of small businesses. I've done some things. I've ended up in business groups. Never really found something I was solid in, wanted to do. Then my son graduated high school, and I was like, "Hey, man, what do you want to do?" And he's like, I want to hang out with you and build cars. So we chose that, and that's where we're at. That's where we're living for and going. And I said that in itself, like I had a conversation with him, and we were talking about it. The struggles of owning a business, because it's not easy. If it's easy, everybody would do it, right? Yeah, everybody would show up to the gym. Everybody could look like you if this was easy. This is not an easy life. There's nothing you've done, but it's through the adversity of going there, testing yourself, pushing yourself, getting and words I'm looking for there, like overcoming the squat. The squat's the perfect one. Get underneath that weight, let it push you down, stand back up, keep pushing, push through it. You can get stronger, So I took time to teach my son everything, that I've learned, and more or less than anything. That's what this group really has been about, is us being friends and then being fathers, and just trying to have. I meet people and they're like, you and your son have such a great relationship, and I'm like, this is 20 years of work. You know what I'm saying? Like we put the work in, but it's just like everything else. If you want to be successful, you got to get in. You got to find. If you want to be an entrepreneur, I say find something that you love. Like everybody else says, I hate that it's cliche, but find something that you enjoy doing, and then you just keep doing that one thing. Because the worst thing is, we were having a conversation, and my son's like, "Hey, Dad, what if I went and got a job?" I said, "Why? Why? What's the point of going and working for somebody else? So they can tell you when you get to come, when you get to go, how long you get to eat, when you don't get to eat." I don't want my son to experience that. And I've been around other business owners too. I'm not to get too far off, but been around other business owners or friends, and they say, don't you want your son to be more like you? No, I don't. I want my son to be everything I've never been able to be. Everything I've never been able to be, that's who I want them to be. Having that kind of time. And that's what I told him. I was like, bro, you don't understand. I spent those years. And when he gets to the spot where you're like, hey, I hate my boss. You know what I'm saying? It's like, think about it. It's a relationship, right? That the work relationship. You get to the point that you're like, man, I hate. You wake up and you're like, oh, Jesus, today, are they going to test me today? You know what I mean? And you don't want to do it. You don't want to be there. Why put yourself in that situation and position, like how you're going to work with these children, teaching them from a very young age that you don't have to go work for, quote unquote, I'm gonna do it, the man.
The man, yeah, that's what they just
yeah. Why go work for somebody else who's going to tell you when you're allowed to be? 2 weeks ago, my grandmother got sick. I was fortunate enough that when they called, I was able to get up and leave. I have customers who are understanding enough to know that what I do, I'm passionate about. Not that I don't want to get anything done, but hey, man, my family needs me right this second. And far too often, I think that, like, we're going to discuss the coronavirus stuff here in a few minutes. We ended up in situations where you couldn't go. They're telling you can't be around people. And I'm like, no, I want my freedom every day. So I think that's what really drives me to be an entrepreneur, because I'm done chasing the money.
Right.
I'm done chasing the money. Will come. Money comes, money goes. You're gonna have those days. But for me to be able to live my life every day and not have somebody over top of my head complaining, you know what I mean? Because if that boss gets mad, think about how many times you go to a place the guy's mad. You know he's mad. He's upset about something else, and he brings it into work.
Yeah.
He brings it into work. Bad enough that when your coworker brings it in, now you get a boss that brings it in. He's got the weight of his own stuff going on, and he's they take it out. It sucks, man. It sucks that they take it out on the people, because they don't have anybody else they can yell at. And then you're there, and you've sold your life for $1. That's the whole American dream that they talk about. If you work harder, go to school, get to college, get the education. I watched the thing last night, and the guy was saying that there's more trade school workers. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be a shortage of welders. There's a shortage of all these things. And at the same time, I'd love to get on that topic too. They complain about, people come across the border. Well, are you fighting them for a job? You know what I mean? Like, why are you complaining? Like, you don't even want to do that to start with.
That's right.
But those guys are coming in. They're even there. They're coming in to take a job. Still working for somebody. But then you find the other group of people who come in, they take a job, and they work to where they finally become the business owner. Mm-hmm. That's the successful people. Those people get to live their lives to whenever they want to, and everybody else looks at it and says, "Oh, it must be nice." Listen, if you really want to be an entrepreneur, it's a hard life, but it's a rewarding life. you're getting something back that money can't buy, and that's your time.
Right.
You're better off. Honestly, I say to talk about it. You're better off to spend 30 hours a week working for yourself than you are working 60 hours a week for somebody else. That's 30 hours a week that you get back. What are they paying? How much are they paying you for?
But the other thing too is that that's 30, 40 hours away from your family.
Yeah. Plus drive time. That's just the time they expect you to be there.
That too.
Yeah. And we're in Houston.
Yeah.
Drive time can get shifty in a minute. I was headed to Livingston the other day, accident on 50. Why they always got to listen, people? If you out there listening to Houston right now, please stop running into each other. But that drive time can be, it's instantaneous. It all of a sudden that 15, 20-minute drive, hour drive, hey, has become, an hour and a half, 2 hours because of an accident. And then what happens? You get there and the boss says, well, why are you late? He said, it was an accident. What did they say? We should have left earlier. Oh, my bad. I was planning on there being an accident today. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. So it doesn't, all that stuff, but it takes away from your time.
But working or you being an entrepreneur and creating your own opportunity, that's the ideal goal, right? That to me, that's the ideal goal. Now, some of us, hey, look, I work. I got a 40-hour week job. Some of us have to do that in order to try to live. I tell you what, a lot of people, including banks, are not giving you that opportunity to get the money, the seed money that you want to start off.
Yeah, that's true.
So sometimes, man, it is harder to get into your dream than it is to do it. But you got to step one piece at a time. You know what I mean? If you want to open a shop, man, start in your garage, start working on cars wherever you can. Get started. That's the main thing. Start as small as possible and then scale up. But the main thing is that you got to start. Don't take all those years dreaming about it. Work your 9 to 5, save that money to the side until you can get out and start doing other things. And the big thing is today is we got social media to promote yourself. Talk about what you're doing. Take a picture of it, show a video. You'll be surprised how many people are excited and share the same interests as you. Next thing you know, somebody says, hey, I like what you did. Can you do it for me? And that's how things start.
Yeah.
That
gets the ball rolling.
Yeah.
But I think what you said, though, that 9 to 5 hustle, and if you, what's that? I said another future subject. We're gonna get on that. But what a man, but this is what we're focusing on. I know we have some female individuals watching right now and everything else. This is really geared towards men. Men do what men want to do, and if you really want to do something, you're not sitting around talking about it. Mm-hmm. You're finding ways to make that happen.
A lot of people have been sitting on the couch talking about doing something. I'm about to get up and work out.
But something today turns into something tomorrow, and then next, your week, 2 weeks.
But I'm saying put thought into action. I've sat back and had conversations with people. Well, you know what? I'm going to start this diet. Diet starts tomorrow.
The diet starts today.
Start today.
Yeah. You want to start dieting today?
That's right.
You want to start dieting today? Or people say, well, you know what? I'm going to wait till Monday to go to the gym.
Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst.
I'm going to wait has killed more hopes and dreams than anything else because, I've been there. I'm like, okay, I know I need to get back to the gym. I'm a little on the fluffy side. Hey,
it's Wednesday. You talking about you start Monday?
Yeah. No. Oh, well, hold on a second. But Monday's chest and try.
Oh, man.
No, go in and hit that workout that you. I always found that the best way to go back to the gym is to take the workout that I hate the most and just make it that day. Do the thing that you hate the most first. But you're gonna feel good when it's over with. You're like, man,
the main thing is that
you gotta start it.
You gotta make that thought. You gotta turn that thought into action. So many people are thinking about it, but not doing it. I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of it. I mean, I think that's human nature.
Procrastinating.
But we've gotta continue to. So to me, sometimes it's hard to get up in the morning and go to work. I'm like, damn, like you said. The only thing I tell myself is keep moving. Don't sit still. Don't sit still. Because if you sit still, those thoughts start to creep in your mind. You know what? You can call them. They got it today. But the other thing that separates us from other people, to me, when you talk about the entrepreneur and the drive, look, I like to do the best I can do. When we're talking about work or if it's about putting out a product, if you got a project in here, what separates you from the guy down the street, because they can take their car anywhere. What separates you from the guy down the street is the quality that you provide. You know you can do the job better. So am I worried about somebody else coming into the country? Not really, because I know I do a quality job. So I don't fear competition. I enjoy competition. That's it.
You enjoy the competition.
And look, we're built on competition. Look, if I've seen you in the gym and I said, damn, man, this dude is killing it. And that's on squatting. So I said, you know what? I reached out to you because I respected your program. I saw what he was doing. I was like, hey, man. So I do that. And I'll be honest with you. When I started out, I stole people's routines. You know, if I saw somebody doing something, I was like, you know what? He is killing it. So guess what? I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it in my repertoire. That's just how I started. I started doing, you know, all flim flam stuff when you hit the gym because I didn't know what I was doing. But as I watched people, I said, man, that dude's killing it on that exercise. That dude's killing it on that one. I started, hey, can I work out with you? Yeah. Look, hey, why do you do this? He'll explain something. He'll tell you why he's doing it and the results that he gets. I put that in my bag of tricks. I'm like, man, that's in my bag of tricks.
You know what's rewarding, though, is that when you see somebody else, I don't know how we even got to that part, but when you see somebody else, when you go to the gym and you do something, and you're doing it because it worked for you. And so you had the experience. There's other people watching you, whether it's at the gym, at work, in businesses, or wherever you're at. There's somebody watching you. When you see, what's rewarding for me is when I see somebody else doing the thing I do. When I see them do exactly what I'm doing or trying to, you know what I'm saying, put that into work. At that point, I also take time out to not put too much time and focus in that, but I put that in my ideas and say, okay, well, let me see how well it does for them, because not everything works. So not everything works and grows the same. And bodybuilding, I like bodybuilding because that teaches you learn a lot about yourself. Not everybody has the same biceps, not everybody has the same back, but those exercises, and it's that push to see, keep going, to keep pushing. But it's when you start to see other people start to do the same thing you've been doing, and then that encourages them because they see something about themselves that changes. And when that changes for them, they're more apt to come talk to you about, hey man, so I tried that thing that you were doing, and it worked for me. What else you got? You know what I mean? Like you find some like us. We found a friendship, and just, hey man, I looked around and I was like, I'm gonna try some weight I never tried before, and I was like, I need the biggest, baddest, low Joe up in this place. Big Ray will do. Hey man, how's it going? Can you get
tiny
me?
guy?
Right. I went over there.
Just don't listen to tiny guy.
Like 135. I think I had on the bar or something. Like, hey man, can you swap me with this? He's over here like curling it up. He's like, you ain't got this, man. This ain't no problem. Yeah, I agree, Keenan. Somebody's always watching. I'm trying to watch this one. How many people we got on that side? Because I'm trying to.
Do you have 11?
We're still holding 11. Can we get some? Can we get some support? Right? Do you like what we're doing? Then like and share that out to others. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
Anybody, we're gonna get to some Q&A in a minute. What time are we holding?
7:38.
7:30. We can talk all day long.
Yeah.
We can go a couple of hours. So let's get okay. But so entrepreneurship, you digging it, right? You digging it. It's rough.
It's a learning process.
Dude, this tastes like it's rewarding. I'm telling you, this tastes like I'm telling you, got to get this. This is good. This is good stuff, man. I really.
Who's Benjamin Hart and Gabriel Harrow?
Where are they watching from?
From our Facebook group, because they still haven't done what I told them at the beginning, so I don't see who it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we want to talk hot topics? Like, what do you?
We done with our intros? Give the intros.
Go with the intro.
Yeah.
I mean, we pretty much, okay. But we are quickly. So we got our ages, background, dynamics. We're all a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're all different and unique in our own, but
I think that's a good mix. I think it's a good mix. Look, we should always get these opinions and views from different angles. Everybody's not going to agree on everything, and your background, you come from up north. In actuality, I was born in New York. I come from up north too. Yeah. We moved down here. So all of these things, man, are great for us to kind of, mold and say, hey, look, this is why I think this, et cetera, et cetera. And then, especially talking about the dance group, the different aspects and the different dynamics that we all face and encounter. I mean, it's a good mix. I like that. If we're all the same dude, it would just be cookie cut, I think.
So I want to stick with intros for a second before we get into that, because we're going to get into one, and at some point in time, you're going to throw the R at me. So
Hold on. I got a pocket full of it.
You
already know.
But like I say, at the same time, we've discussed that. Like,
that's right.
You born, you learn, you're taught, and I said one of the big things is I said, well, we're going to try to do with this group is help create a group of men who hopefully create some camaraderie between them, so that you find that like-minded person, just like when you're at the gym,
Right.
so that maybe the friendship that you can grow is, on backwards. Anybody who's looking right now, like I said, I'm trying to show this with you. If you want to watch the live feed that's going on for the podcast right now, go to Breaking Bread with Ray, Charles, and Jesus.
And it's going down, and I put it in there. So
you got the link running in there.
Yeah, it says join the Facebook
I've
group.
got it running on my live. Like I got my live feed running right now, so I have people asking me over here on my live, like, "Hey, can you get this? Can I see the other people?" I'm like, "I'd love to show you them, but my hands are busy, doing my thing, trying to
multitask.
like I said, that's why I'd like to keep my live feed next week. Remind me, I need to charge my iPad and have that thing running so I can see both.
Y'all messed up giving Charles a microphone. Love it.
Who said that?
Still, I don't know. Who is it, guys? Make sure.
Who's the person
Who said that?
You gave me a microphone? I've been waiting to have a microphone for a long time.
This is where the idea came from. So Charles has been on social media for a long time. Let's say this. And to me, I see him out there poking the bear. He poked the bear. And so there are two things that I told him. I said, look, one, you could have your own reality show in this shop because there's so much interesting things going on, right? The other thing was like, man, because you talk about whatever, and we've done that. We sat down at this table. We've already done it. That's why it turned into a real idea. He will talk about anything. So I said this too. I'll put this out there. He's either the smartest dumb person I know, or he's the dumbest smartest person. I'm still trying to figure it out. So when I figure it out, or if anybody knows, let me know.
All right. Big Red.
The smartest dumb person or the dumbest smartest person. I haven't figured it.
I'll take it either way, man. That's a compliment, man. That's a real compliment. So I say, stay with the thing. So family dynamics. Married?
Yeah. So
what are you talking about? The wife? The wife does some good cooking. I see a good reason to stay, bro. I mean,
right.
Besides the fact that I've seen the support, like I've watched you guys personally. I've seen the support between the two of you.
Yeah.
Even when you're doing like the YouTube, like when you're going on YouTube Live or whatever you have going on, you guys were making them videos, like watching her work.
Yeah.
And seeing her show up with you. You know what I'm saying? Like the couples that pray together, the couples that work out together, the couples that interject husbands, the couples that together. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care what you add in there. The couples that together, that says a lot, man. It says a lot.
Yeah. So again, I'll give a little bit of background about myself. 49 years old, born in New York, came here in a long time ago. I think I was in fourth grade when I finally made it here to Houston. I'll fast forward a little bit. So I went to Brazil. A buddy of mine said, "Hey man, let's go to Carnival." And I said, "How much and when?" So we had a great time. I said, "Let's go back." Nobody ever wanted to go back with me. So I said, "I'll tell you what, I'm going to Brazil by myself." And as I went to Brazil by myself, I got to meet more people, explore more. And I actually ran into my wife. And so from there, that was 2002, 2003. We got married in 2007. And man, we got 2 kids. One is 28, girl. She's making all these gray hairs. That's where that comes from.
Yeah.
My son, he's 15, so got his head on straight. But this is where we talk about. So when we talk about our parenting and we're talking about relationships and friendships, that's part of my background. I just want to let you guys know who I am, so you can kind of understand at least where I'm coming from. So again, my wife, she's been in the country now since 2014. She just got her citizenship in 2020. I speak fluent Portuguese, know a little bit of Spanish.
I'm jealous.
Well, Portuguese is
really.
It's the country cousin. That's what it sounds like. Country cousin of Spanish. So
there's a lot of dialects in the whole language too. Right? It seems
it is, but it's just like Ebonics to English. It's the same damn thing, right? But you just put a little twang on it. Hey, down south we would put a twang on everything, right? So there's a little bit of that in it, but also it's not hard. Excuse me. It's not easy, and it's not hard, right? So when I'm saying it's not easy being married. You know what I mean? It's not easy being a man.
No,
it's not.
No.
So,
expectation levels.
And I'll tell you this a little bit real quick.
So my mom and dad aren't together. They've been divorced for a long time. And I used to be pissed off at my old man. I used to hate him, you know? Just because, you know, like, well, you're not here. So I had to become the man of the house early. And, you know, there's a little bit of resentment for that, you know? You don't get that opportunity to be the kid as long as you wanted to. So there's resentment of that type of relationship. But then, as a grown man, as a father, as a husband, I sat down with him one day and he wasn't asking for it. I said, you know what? I forgive you. I forgive you for all of the things that you did. I said, I can do that now, and I understand because I know now it's not easy being a father. It's not easy being a husband. So I'll tell you one thing though, my sister's never gonna forgive me because she'll never be a husband. She'll never be a dad. She's never gonna forgive you. You got to try to mend that relationship the best you can. So, yeah.
And I think that, you know, that goes towards what we was talking about too, helping men to understand, like you're being in the house, like being the lead, trying to be in the lead. You're expected to do a lot of things, and one of those is to show kindness towards the other person. If that other person don't want to talk, everybody's been there. You got a wife.
Yeah.
What's wrong? Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
What you like? I don't understand. That's the key word. Like nothing. Nothing is everything and something added to it. Yeah, that's a lot though. Yeah.
So to me, I think it's, man, this is us putting a positive step forward. You know, trying to talk to men, trying to talk to other guys out there that might be in that we've been in, and just, hey, we talk about it. We'll put it out on the table and discuss it.
I'd like to see more people. I really hope to encourage other people to step out there and create conversation.
Yeah.
You know, talk about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we don't know who our neighbors are.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't know who's talking. You know, especially here, people move so fast. We don't know who's around you, who you're around. We don't really take time to like slow life down a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. You know what I mean? We don't always have to be in a hurry for everything.
Just enough to say, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Reach out.
But like I said, on all those things, we're going to hit some points in the end. Like I said, I just really want people to get to know who you are, who I am, who he is. Most of y'all know who I am, and that's not going to be. That's not very hard. Like I said, someone would tell me, get off the microphone.
That was Levi. Levi.
Oh, that's my son-in-law, man.
Yeah, Levi.
Yeah, trust me, there's another place you don't want to be. Don't ever ask that dude if he wants to stand up and has anything to say for Jesus. I promise you, my son-in-law, I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed. Being a father, that's one of the things you know. I want to help encourage other people. Two things, like are you raising the kind of son that you'd want your daughter to have? That's a big one. You know what I'm saying? Is your son the kind of man that you would want your daughter to marry?
Right.
That'll say a lot of your kids. Your kids say a lot about you, who you are as a person. Your friends can tell you everything because there's a lot of people who spend time. You can go. They're at the bar with their buddies. They're at the baseball with their buddies. They're playing on softball teams, or they got all this stuff that they're going on, and their friends got a lot to say about them. The truest way to kind of know somebody on a quick glimpse, take a look at his kids. Take a look at his kids. That'll say a whole lot about what he's done with his life. Yeah. And not to say that every father raises their kids perfectly, right? I mean, you got your prodigals.
Yeah, but there's no rule book. I mean, there's not a rule book A, B, C.
Yeah, Andrew, you're right, buddy. That's one of my goals, man. Somebody like this kid. He said Chuck for mayor. We'll get that guy one day. Watch. We met in city of Katie Mayor. Oh my God, where'd this guy come from?
We got somebody's like Michael's like Cartel Vega giving you guys some love.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.
Like I say, you're on. At this moment in time, we still got about an hour and some change to go. So like, share. We're about to hit some of them other topics. Like I said, we're still. So education, bro. How'd your education go?
Yeesh.
Yeah.
So
how did you do?
I was a good student. So going back to math though, man, I failed geometry. Because I just couldn't get it at first, right? Went to some school, aced it. Same thing, kind of like you. It's weird. It's just like all that stuff, that gobbledygook that they were talking, boom, it all of a sudden made sense, and then just aced it. But I went to school, high school for engineering professions. I went to Prairie View A&M University. I graduated a degree in mechanical engineering.
Nice.
Worked in the oil and gas field for 17, 18 years, maybe 20. I don't tell my age, right? Too late.
Too late. We already know the great show.
But it just, there was a lot of education in the classroom. But what I also noticed was getting in the rat race, it just makes you chug along for that next goal, What finally woke me up was getting fired. That feeling of, man, I was killing it. I know I was good. I can't believe they would fire me. And that also along with when I started to travel and I, meeting a lot of people who had influence and money. I met a lot of people traveling outside the U.S., outside the country. In particular, when I was in Brazil, there are a lot of millionaires out. And they don't work for anybody. So I started just watching the pattern. These people don't work for anybody. One guy, he had a restaurant. He said, Ray, I tell you what, I'd be worth $5 million if it wasn't for the booze and the women. He said, right now I'm just worth $3 million. So this guy had his own restaurant in Boston, really good guy. He was a software engineer guy, had his own company. There are multiple guys that work, sold patents to the U.S. military, et cetera, et cetera. These guys had their own business and they had their own time to make, so they could actually be on vacation and still make money. So the main thing, and so when you watch that, that's an educational lesson that I took that wasn't in the classroom. Some of the best education you get is not in the classroom. It's in life. It's in the real world. So that was a big lesson for me in the education.
So education, musical interest. We see the hobby. Like you look like you've been to the gym once or twice, something like that, a couple of times. Like you walk in, the weights just throw themselves at you, and you walk back out. Is that what? But other hobbies interest. What music, man? What kind of music you into?
I listen to anything.
Anything?
I listen to anything that doesn't have an accordion in it. I just don't like the
Can't
accordion.
I
don't like.
Come on. This is the one thing. As soon as I hear that, I'm like, oh, you know why? Because I'm gonna tell them being in Houston, I know as soon as I hear the accordion, especially if you're at a family party, pick one, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Pick any of the family party. Because I spend a lot of time with Hispanic people. Like I say, whatever word, help me here. Whatever word I'm supposed to use, it don't make
the accordion, man. If we got an accordion,
wow. Somebody's drunk grandfather or uncle's about to get up and sing about his, you know what I'm saying? The girl who broke his heart when he was probably in high school. That's coming, like. Anyway, so any kind of music, and then so the Dyers for life, family, like you were saying, where you want to get at.
So these things change, So like I said, I'm 49, and all this stuff starts to evolve. Man, I've evolved. And this is right before the pandemic too. And I think everybody's going to do this in life. So I don't know how old you guys that are online. I don't know how old you guys may be, but you should consistently evolve. So the things that I thought that I wanted, the goals that I have for myself at 35, they change between 35, 45, and on. When you start to get older, you start looking for the golden parachute. But again, my idea is not to work for someone, right? So what I'm working on now with my activity now is I'm trying to get on my own land and start my own farm. That's the big thing to me. I want less hands on my food. So I actually want to go out and create the food too. So the big thing that happened to me was 2019. I said, you know what? I'm going to read the Bible every day, once a day, and just continue to read it. I tried to read the Bible all the way through and I didn't get it, but I did really good, and just doing that changed me. So I started to evolve in that part. And what I evolved and what my mission started to be was I found out that to me, the message that I got on those readings was God will provide. So there's a particular time when I didn't have a job for about a year and a half, somewhere in there. Didn't miss a payment, didn't miss a meal, family was fed. God will provide. That's one of the biggest lessons. And so once I found that, it started driving me, aside from competing in bodybuilding and stuff like that, there was a bigger interest in food. And then that same message was in the back of my head, God will provide. And what that started telling me was like, you need to start making your own food. You need to produce your own food. So it's not only, it's really what you've been talking about. It's being around family. It's working with family. And then it's actually God producing, and he's showing it. I mean, you plant something and you watch that thing come out. And that's because it's son. That's right. Who's controlling that? So, man, I want that for my family. I want to be able to work with my son the way you work with yours. I want to have that common interest in things like that. I want to be able to, because I spent time away from the family. We talked about that last week too. I spent 8 years with myself here, my wife in Brazil. So I've done that. And so in having your family separated, man, that's hard. That's hardcore. So when you were telling your story. Reason why I say that is because, man, as a man, I said, you know what? I got to be able to earn and make money at that particular time. So I had to stay here in the U.S. and work. And the family was in Brazil for 8 years. For 8 years, I traveled back and forth. So now what I want is to get the family, stay together as much as we can. 30 hours with the family is way different than 30 hours without the family.
Right.
There's a huge difference with that. And if you can control that environment, being your job, so it's your job, it's your life, all that wrapped in one, man, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Right.
That's what I'm looking for.
So you get, but it's that choice. Because you could have chose to stay there. You had a choice to go back and forth, right? And you worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you overcame, you worked, and you stayed with it, you overcame. And
there's a certain level of
poverty. You did what mattered to you.
Yeah, but there's a certain level of poverty. We all have a certain level that we are willing to live in, and there's a level that we're willing not to.
Right.
So as I was down there, so by the way, I've got a house in Brazil. I had a car. I've got all that. Still got that down there now. But I said, look, I can't stay here because money was running short. You know, so I got to go back and work. So there's levels that you're willing to live at, and there's levels, man, it would have got harsh. It was already tight. And, you know, you tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna tighten the belt a little bit. But man, if you don't see the end of the tunnel, man, and like any positivity towards that, I had to come back to the US, man. I had to work. I couldn't live down there. I stayed down there almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So hold on, you got a house and a car down there? Place I can go stay.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Man,
Rio de Janeiro.
Oh,
okay,
man.
so that brings us to the next one. I'd like to go do that, man. What do you think they're going to do about this coronavirus? Is that probably we're an hour in?
Yeah. Before you jumped into the corona, somebody asked us, how can entrepreneurs give back to the communities besides breaking bread, which you guys are doing are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Giving back to the community. I can tell you this much: as an entrepreneur, people don't want to know what the real key secret is, and that's to break even. That's what it is. It's to have enough money to live throughout the year,
right,
till you get to Uncle Sam with his hand out, and he'd be like, "I ain't got nothing for you, bro."
Yeah.
It is though. That's what real winning is. And you see some of the big entrepreneurs. I'm watching like Grant Cardone, and he's like, yeah, I got to the point I need to spend $60 million.
Wow.
I'm trying to get to that level and then realize it takes you a while. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get there today. It's going to take a while. But giving back, you find places that you want to, like I say, you want to put your money into. 501c.
Yeah, but you got to heat it up though, right? Nuke it a little bit. 'Cause once it's cold, man.
You know, you can give back by that. More about your time. Being involved in the little leagues,
You're right.
in your community, you know what I'm saying? Finding that, and the nice thing is about being an entrepreneur, especially somebody like me who has such bad ADD, you can continually find something new to challenge you.
Yeah.
I like the challenge. I like that every time I get something comes in that I have to do. The challenge of getting it done and then pushing myself. I think that's one of the things I love most about. Because there's not a time that I don't get done with a car, and if I don't sit back and look at what I've created and I built with my hands and not be impressed by myself, I'm not done. You know what I mean? And I hate that there's always one thing about every car I don't like. I had a guy pick his car the other day. I was like, hey man, he's like, oh, it looks awesome, I love it, and I was like, yeah, but there's this one spot. You know what I mean? And I think that's what drives me. I'm never. I've talked to my friend Matt Claver about that. Like I always feel like the masterpiece, if I finished it and I got it perfect, I'm kind of still afraid. Like I should be afraid. I'm kind of afraid God be like, all right, man, that's good. You're done. You got it. You know, I'm like, hold on a second. As long as I'm still making mistakes, I'm still going to be okay, right? Because I haven't arrived. So the mask thing, we're going to get on. I think my phone's going to end up dying, so I may have to find a phone charger here real quick and take just a half a second break, which I don't want to. But we did decide we're going to talk about a couple of things, right? So we want to hit a couple of topics.
Yeah, we're talking about some things, man.
Coronavirus. It's ouchy, man. It's an ouchie, right? Because we can go from extreme to extreme, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the middle of I'm not really ready to get a vaccine. How you feeling about the vaccine?
I don't want it.
You ain't want it?
I don't want it.
Jesus?
I don't want it, but I'm gonna take it.
You don't want
All right,
it?
you know what?
Yeah.
I never took what is the other one? The flu.
Yeah.
I never did, and I went just a couple of months ago before No, before COVID all happened, right? I went back to my doctor, and they're like, "You ready to get your flu?" And they're like, "Because we see you never got it." And I said, "You know what? I'll take it." But my mindset was different. I was like, "Man, whatever is going in me, God is putting in only the good thing. All that bad thing, wherever you think it is, it's out the door." So I thought about it that way, and I said, "You know what? Wait a minute. I believe in God. I believe in myself. So all that juice that is coming in, the other one is just disappearing." I believe that, dude. And I said, I'm gonna keep the mindset that way.
See, I want Charles to be the conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
on the
because
show, really. I really do, because so that's why, like, if I start to ask about, so I'll tell you the reasons why I don't. And what I also don't do is I won't talk bad about anybody's decision about the coronavirus, about you taking the vaccine. You know yourself better than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So what you have to do, and I told all my friends this, I said, look, the main thing that we need to do is we need to survive. That's all you have to do right now. Don't do anything else more than that. Don't try to get out of the lane and do all this extra stuff. We need to survive. Once this is, and I'm not gonna say over, once we're past the heavy lifting part of this, what we do is then we go back to thriving. But right now, you got to do whatever you got to do to just survive.
So can I interject on that?
Go ahead.
Right? You use the word survive.
Yeah.
One of the things about this, man, I'm not okay with just surviving
Mm-hmm.
anymore. And I tell you why, because it's about like overcoming. Because when you're on your own, like think about how many people have lost their jobs just in the last year, right? And now we got a lot of people sitting around waiting on a $1,400 check. Like there's a group of people.
We need to talk about that too.
There's a group of people right now that are out there waiting for a check to come, right? I'll take, listen, I like money. You got free money? Got nothing to do with it? Hit me up. I'll give you my Cash App, my PayPal. Like, if you just giving money away because you need to get rid of it.
But do I agree with it? Do I agree with it technically? No, I don't.
The payments?
Yeah. No.
I mean, it's a little late.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind, I'm like, my bills were due a long time ago.
Right.
My bills were due a long time ago.
Right.
I don't need it. I needed it yesterday, not.
But that's the part where I'm talking about survive. Everything. Look, see, you're supposed to be conspiracists.
Not me, but yeah, it's which today.
So look, here's what happens, right? I'm looking at this thing right now, and my mindset has changed. I'm telling you, I'm starting to come to the dark side, which is Charles.
What about
Kelvin Cabrera? You there? You heard that? Like he's coming to the dark side with us, bro. He's on the dark side.
I think all of this is about thinning the herd. All of this is about thinning the herd. You don't feel that?
Hey, look, man, I'm listening.
Go. Okay.
I'm listening.
Getting the coronavirus is not a death sentence.
No.
Just because you get corona does not mean you're going to die. And that is what they've been pumping into our head. Now, don't get me wrong. Right now, the numbers are about more than 500,000 Americans have already died from the coronavirus. More than 500,000. No, I'm going to give the numbers like that. There could be more, there could be less, but I'm going to go ahead and act like the number.
Yeah,
okay.
People died.
Yeah, they died. And they labeled it corona. But the thing is this, you can survive if you get the coronavirus. You have to do a couple of things immediately, quickly, but you can survive. What the doctors are telling us right now. So let's say, and a lot of people already know someone who's actually had corona, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the doctor, they're going to say, come back when you are sicker. Come back when you are worse. What happens to a virus? The only thing a virus wants to do is spread. Mm-hmm. So it's spreading even more. So if you go home and wait for a week and they don't even give you any medication, that virus is taking over.
That's what happened. We went to, they called us, said, hey, man, my grandmother's 83, right? I hope they get to see this day. I love my grandma. My grandmama, my granny is she's the epiphany of like how a woman, like there's no greater woman than like, so when they called and said, hey, she's sick, I think she's got the coronavirus. And when I get there, she was still like, she didn't want nobody swabbing her face. She didn't want nothing. And she was more terrified. And Keenan said, it's like, it's about fear. She was more worried that she would go and that they would end up taking her away from my grandfather because they're not letting people be together.
Right.
So that's another thing that created, that creates some fear about that. I'm still not for certain what they're putting in my face, man. I wasn't there. It seems a little too quick, too fast. I'm not okay. I'm not. I'm personally still saying, no vaccine. I'm out of that. I'm out of that realm I am trying to stay away from people that are sick, but I've been around people. I've been around people who had coronavirus, and I haven't gotten sick. Now, have I had instances where I felt like I had a chest cold or some other things? Yeah, but I don't. I said I don't. I don't know so much about thinning out the herd. I'm not saying I wouldn't go down that rabbit hole with you. Maybe at another time, another place. Like I said, we'll see how people. But I think they're using it to create. I think it's a control factor. It's a fear factor that so many people are so worried. You know, I mean, we're seeing people in Houston driving around with. Let's say I traveling from here and going to Georgia, going to Florida, seeing some of the other states as of recent. Because we're from Houston. I stepped into Georgia. I'm walking in, I got a mask on my face, and people are looking at me like I'm a crazy one. And I was like, hold on a second, nobody's wearing a mask. Go to Florida, same ordeal. And you got a lot of elderly people there who, you know what I'm saying, you would think it would be a death sentence for them. And my grandmother, she got tested. They said, yeah, she's got coronavirus. A week and a half later, at 83 years old, she's better. Which says, you know, what exactly was going on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a doctor. So I'm not professing any kind of medical. Right. I'm not giving any medical advice. Don't come back later and say, well, they said on the Breaking Bread show that I'm good. No, listen. If you feel like you need a mask, wear a mask. You know, if that's not something that you need, I'll do it out of respect for other people.
I don't knock people who wear masks. I wear a mask. I wear a mask in those situations. Look, my job says, look, you have to wear a mask. Guess what? I put the mask on. I'm not even arguing about that.
Right, but there's other things I'm more afraid of catching at Walmart, like coronavirus. I'm not lying.
I'm telling you this. Coronavirus is not a death sentence. There are medications that you can take in order for you to be able to get through it. Now, what complicates it, again, is what they did say, and I believe all that. If you have any pre-existing type of conditions, you know, heart issues, if you have diabetes, obesity, these are a lot of things that the coronavirus, man, it can be hell on those type of people, man, that happen to have those issues already.
Well, and so the vaccines. We're talking about coronavirus and the vaccine. So the only thing I guess I've read, maybe I'm getting my information from wrong sources. Like I say, I'm all about people. You can send me information, find us, follow us on Facebook, however you have to. I'm down to read something. I have friends, like you said, I poked the bear, right, to get, and someone said, why you always gotta be that way? I'm like, because I'm lazy, and you're the one guaranteed person that I know that's going to go fact check everything I just said, and you're a good source of alternate information that I ain't got to get it done for. See, that's what leadership is about, man. I got you to do something for me that you didn't realize that I was even getting you to get done. But for what I've read about that is saying that you can get you're telling me if I had the polio vaccine or whatever the other ones, you get it, we're going to inject you with something. Okay, now you're not going to get it. Now they're saying if you get the vaccine, right? All the vaccine says is that you got the vaccine. It doesn't guarantee me that I'm not going to catch this thing that I feel that I can already live and survive for.
But even the flu shot doesn't guarantee that you won't get the flu. In actuality, a lot of people, I don't know if you did when you said you got the shot. Yeah. A lot of people get the flu when they get the flu shot.
Yeah,
I did.
No.
But it will drag some people down.
I worked at AK Steel. Last time I took the flu shot, they were giving out free flu shots. It's been a few years, 15 years or so ago. I went in, hey man, you got free flu shots, go out there. I get off work, my last night shift, go out, I stayed sick for a couple of days and I haven't ever done it since. I've never went back for another shot after that.
So here's my vaccine. Eat healthy, exercise. I take vitamins religiously. I take my vitamins every day. It's a handful. I'll show you guys my vitamins. There's a whole protocol of vitamins. Man.
Pez candy dispensers
with
Skittles mixed in with it.
My wife sets those up for me every morning.
Okay, go.
So I take that every morning. So guess what's in there? Vitamin C, zinc, omega-3 is in there. Mm-hmm. So, and even vitamin D. But vitamin D is the sun. Really, if you go out and you just get some sun, that's vitamin D as well. But what I'm saying is that is a vaccine. So I've been exposed to people who had coronavirus. And I'll tell you what happened to me. I'm not saying I had it, didn't have it, I don't know. I got a bad headache, like a migraine. So that put me down. It happened twice when I was in close proximity, even hugging people who had the coronavirus.
Yeah, migraines. Have you experienced migraines lately?
Yeah.
I went through about 6 weeks. 6 weeks of a serious, could not shake it migraine.
I'll explain some of that off camera too.
With the stress.
And look, somebody said, AB Lobos, thank you for watching. Condoms don't guarantee you won't get someone pregnant, but you gotta like your chances.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying that it's not something that isn't going to be a viable answer, maybe in time. I'm just saying right now it's way too.
Yeah.
Okay, so since he said that, let me re-relate it, right? Because I always got something to say about it. Condoms don't say wearing a condom says I probably might not get this girl pregnant, right? Getting the thing says I might not get this, right? The better way, just, you know what I'm saying, is abstinence away from it. So what do? I didn't realize how much I already, I hate to use self-quarantine, but I didn't realize how much I don't interact in public with people since I own my own shop. I stay really busy right here in my own little world. So, like I said, the biggest fear I have is like going to Walmart, because it's just 5 minutes away.
I know it's in there.
Other than that, yeah.
You know, have you guys ever? I've gone to Walmart. I know it's in here.
Yeah.
Corona, aisle 4. Corona, aisle 4. I know it's in there.
But,
I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, but so is the snotty-nosed kid that's standing in line.
Look, you know how Spider-Man has his spider
candy.
senses? Man, I got that Corona sense. Whenever I'm up in Walmart, man, my spider senses are just like, get out, bro.
No, yeah, don't stay here too long.
Get
I
out,
don't
bro.
even beg into the long yet. So don't. Again, I'm still on a no virus. I'm still on the no vaccine side of this.
Right.
And
I need more data. I need more data.
And yes.
And my more data is going to be this. Maybe next year. Let's look at it next year and see how things are going. If you haven't turned into a zombie by then, maybe it works.
Then again,
right.
maybe we're gonna get lucky. Those who got this virus. Hey, look, man. If you turn into a zombie, I'll promise you it will be out of mercy only. I love you, my brother. I appreciate you.
But I haven't taken it yet.
I'm just saying, headshots.
Yeah. I want to go. I want to right away.
So here's my other thing about the vaccine. They haven't cured the common cold. You mean to tell me they built a vaccine for corona in less than a year?
But listen. So how many? So is coronavirus political?
Yeah.
Is it political driven?
It wasn't. But you can make anything political.
Everything.
That's what happened. That's what's happening now. I don't feel that we used to be, but now we're so tribal. We're so left. We're so right. We're so in our corners, and we're all defending. I'm not sure what. So, just a little break, real quick in here. That's why I like coming over here to talk to Charles, is because we can have these conversations and it not devolve into something that's an argument. You can't go on Facebook for 2 minutes before you want to start firing back at somebody.
Yep. Yeah.
So right now, I had to step back. I still got my Facebook because I love Facebook Marketplace.
Everybody loves Marketplace.
But other than that, man, I'm done. I don't want to argue with people because it really makes no sense on Facebook. But if we sit down and we have a discussion, I don't want to fight Charles at the end of the day because he said something that was totally opposite of my opinion. These are opinions, man.
This is
so now we can't even be friends, man.
Yeah.
On Facebook, we have trouble being friends. You've been following these people for years. You're like, look, bro, I'm gonna have to remove this dude.
Right.
Because we have different opinions.
Right. But I say back if it's political, is it driven by anything can become political, right? So if we find a good cause, anybody finds a good cause, and they ride that one good cause, I don't care, bro. I'm going to some of them, like I would say, some of them, even though I did vote for the other guy, right? I voted for the big orange mean man. I felt like a lot of people jumped on that because back then when it was like build a wall, they had something to say, oh, well, I'm going to get behind this guy because this became a political issue for them because it matters so much. At the same time, I kind of felt like last year, still not even okay with the elections the way it is, but whatever. But where we're at, you got a lot of, you had a lot of people who jumped on it. Yeah, somebody, they jumped on and they're like, if you don't believe in the vaccine and you don't believe in coronavirus and you just must not be like un-American altogether. Are you serious? And then people who want to constantly throw out, like I said, I feel like if we're feeding into fear, we don't know enough. And if it was that bad, that's just the thing. If it was, honest to God, if it had been that bad all this whole time, then why didn't we shut everything down and just stop?
Well, we did.
Okay,
we did for a second.
If that's the case, you're going to tell me the 535 some odd people trying to run this place, right? Whoever they are that are supposed to be responsible for all of us. You got to tell me it's taking them that long to help out the American people? And I mean, we can get on the money waste that I've seen of lately too. Like, don't get me wrong, but the packages that they're giving, the stimulus package should have been for stimulus for American citizens, people in America. And I would say, I'll say that because I know you're on the DACA thing. Like I'm saying that if you're here in America and we're passing out American tax dollars, there shouldn't be money going anywhere else except for America right now.
Yeah, but even
then we didn't need a stimulus package. And
no,
we
but
didn't need to shut the country.
I'm not talking
We
about
need to stop it.
stimulus. I'm talking about PPP.
Right, no, I'm saying
Even PPP was abused. So whatever program, here's the thing too. Whatever you put out, there's always going to be someone that's going to abuse that.
That's
There's
true.
always gonna, look,
Well, remember when they said only the N95 masks were good?
and locks are not made for honest men.
No.
You don't need to lock up
No.
for an honest dude. Honest dude's not going to come in here and steal.
All locks do is keep honest people honest.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Nothing.
It's not going to keep a bad guy out. It's not going to keep a quick guy. So my thing is that they're going to put plans in place. We should talk about the stimulus package. There are going to be people that get $1,400 and dollars to donuts. If y'all haven't seen it, when you drive out of 10 cars, you tell me how many have a paper plate. Whoever's driving that car, and it's a trash car too. I call it a cash car. You know, a cash car is about $5,000 or less, right? You don't pay notes on a cash car. They got paper plates. That's where these stimulus is going. These people who shouldn't be on the road, who probably tore up 2 cars already and don't have any kind of way to even finance another car,
Or
go look around and look how many paper plates. When y'all go out tomorrow, if you're out on the road today, count 10 cars and tell me how many got paper plates. There are paper plates everywhere. Go to the hood.
Ooh.
Go to the hood is even worse. Those people should not be on the road. Driving car.
you
What?
started to scare me over
What?
here.
What? These people shouldn't be on the road. $1,400 check. What they do? They ran down there and probably bought Joe Schmo's.
Yeah.
Look at it.
The
I
money was
seen a
wasted.
2003 Toyota Corolla with a paper plate. Man, come on.
It's a cash car.
It's a cash
Cash
car.
car.
And somebody's paying a note on
We
that.
call them a hoop ride. A hoopty.
A hoodoo.
Yeah.
Hoodoo.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I'm saying is there are going to be people that are going to use their money or abuse programs everywhere.
Right.
They're good DACA people. There are going to be people in there who are probably trying to hustle. There's good and bad everywhere.
I just think it took too long. If
No, this
if
is
the virus,
But that's Washington.
if the virus, yeah,
that's Washington,
Why does
and
it
that's
take so long?
trash.
Why does it
That's
take so long?
trash.
So this is why we're here, right? The big basis of why we're
I
here
said we're going to talk politics.
is community, right?
Yeah.
Because we can agree that there's a flaw in the leadership of where we're at. So how do we fix that leadership? We fix it at
Oh,
home.
man, I'm not supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be this dude. This is supposed to be you. So here's what you should know. Period. You have to take care of yourself and your family. Do not wait for the government. I don't care what country you're in. Do not wait for the government to come in and save you and your family.
No.
If the government has anything to do with a vaccine to come and save you and the family,
And we can get
don't
on
wait, bro.
We can get on that
I'm
later.
not waiting on that.
What happens when the government steps in? Families get split. Fathers lose rights. I mean, that we can go all day long.
Don't wait for the
I
government.
don't like
man.
them injecting
wait.
and telling us what you have to
That's
do.
true.
So
Take care of yourself.
so you have to do whatever you have to do to survive. This
Self-responsibility.
government, that's right. This government is not, and I don't care who's the president. The government's not going to come in and say, "This Jesus, I need to save you, bro. This vaccine, we're making this for Jesus and his family. They don't give a damn about you.
They only care
They
about
care
numbers.
about tax dollars. They care about the multitude of us. But one individual, man, there are people dying. There are real people dying of the coronavirus.
I agree.
Do they care? I don't know, man.
I don't know if I could say this, man. Should I say it?
Hmm?
All right. I have
Here's a safe space.
I'm not even gonna say names.
This is a safe space to,
Yeah.
to talk about whatever. Right?
Yeah.
This is open.
I hope
this is
Facebook
open-
don't
this is-
you know, block
This
us,
is bad.
right?
This is bad.
This is
We got
where
shut
we
down on the first episode.
I hope not. I hope not.
They're gonna step in. The FBI's like, is anybody
Is
watching
anybody
this?
watching this shit? Man, they're
Go
cool.
get them. Dude.
Hey.
They start kicking the doors down.
They didn't
Oh,
kill
I
it.
love you.
Men in Black will come here.
Take a look,
Look
at
at
this just for a second.
Oh yeah, man. I had a friend a couple of days ago. He was like, "Hey, dude, man, one of my friends, somebody in my family got sick of the virus, the COVID coronavirus. We took him to the doctor, and they had him in there that first day. And one of the nurses came up to me and said, he told me that the nurse told me, as soon as you can, please take him back home."
I thought he's here to get help.
What?
When he said that, he took him back home, but I started like,
What's that
Okay,
mean, though?
what does that mean? Like, what is going on inside the hospital?
Well, you go back down that rabbit hole.
Because I know that there's so many people in there that shit went go through the COVID that it wasn't right, that they probably were actually killing people in it. And with him telling me that, I was like, then it's true, because she gave her guts to go and tell
Well, then at
him.
the end, it's like, hey man, this one's sick enough, man. Put him back in Gen Pop, would you?
Isn't that crazy?
That's what I say. There's a lot of ways to look at it. And the thing is, everybody has an idea or a thought process on it, right? Of what's going on. And because we have such broken media, if I can even say that word, like because we have such a broken down,
It is.
it's so much easier to keep people divided by giving out information that if I feed into this and I feed into that and I keep these people looking, they're not going to see where I'm spending their tax dollars. Like that's, I mean, honestly, we can of all those things, but there's people who've gotten sick, and I'm very sad for it. Listen, I'm open to apologize. If you're somebody out there if you lost somebody very special to you, it doesn't matter if it's coronavirus or not. Any kind of personal tragedy that you've experienced in losing a loved one is still tragedy.
Absolutely.
It's unfortunate that the kind of tragedies that there's people out there who have heart attacks, pick anything that's killed, anything that would naturally just kill us. It doesn't matter whether it's old age or it's somebody who has like a newborn that at birth. It doesn't. The loss of life is tragic and sucks in its entirety, and it hurts and it leaves scars. What's worse is that I feel like people are capitalizing on that loss, and they've given that loss a name and then added fear to the backside of it, right? Because I believe, like we sat down and talked. We hadn't seen each other in 2 months, like from Thanksgiving to afterwards. I come back, you're like, hey man, what's going on? Why you said what's so different? Refooting myself in faith in Christ and surrendering my life, which made all the difference for me. I struggle with that because I don't want to live in a fear state that I'm afraid. You know what I mean? I'm saying that you get judgment, and that's all I'm saying is take the time to make the good judgment about yourself. Take care of your house, home, family first.
Right.
They don't care what's best for you, right? I mean, that was proof. I don't care. And we can go. Like I said, give me the computer so I can sit down and pull up some other stuff. We'll find many times that the government stepped in and said, "Hey, we're going to take care of you. I don't need you to take care of me, man. You're not my mom and dad. You're not my father, and you're not my children's parents either. You know, so that's one of those things that I'm not okay with. I'm not down for that. We're going to expand on that as we go because things are going to develop from this week to next week, obviously, as we go on to that. Where we at timeline?
An hour and 22.
Okay, so we're going to give everybody a little Q&A. We're trying to keep it. We are trying to limit ourselves down to 2 hours. So let's move on. Let's move on because we can keep on talking. Everybody, real quick, who is on this live feed with us on mine, I'm going to log off. I want to get on the Dads of Houston and to the Breaking Bread live feed. I promise you, we'll do something a little different later or next week. I'll be more equipped for that. But excuse me, man, that chili's good. Thank you all so much. I love you guys. But if you're not following Breaking Bread with Ray, Charles, and Jesus, go to my page. I've shared the link several times. Go over there and follow it. But let's get moved on. You're right. Faith and fear cannot live in the same house. If you're on the Breaking Bread group, if you haven't joined yet, please take the invite. Go join. Share it out to somebody else. I said we want to touch some topics that are going to make people have some emotions, and it's okay to have emotions. What's not okay is to let your emotions control you. So let's I said we're gonna shift off. Y'all go check out the Breaking Bread live feed that we got going on right now. As I said, I want to catch you guys up over there, and I want to get back with everybody else. Thank you guys for watching so far, but please go over, switch over the other one so I can change up too. That being said, I'm gonna get off there, get back on the other place. Let's shift gears a little bit, right? So in shifting gears to that. Let's move on to the relationships, man. So we touched on that. What doing what's best. I like how we led into that. It's doing what's best for you and your family first and foremost. Saying that you're not just asking the government to to take care of. You're not asking the government to take care of, right? So what do you think you like as a father? What's your? I say what you. Yeah, I think you have some goals like becoming a father, having a wife. You make decisions, right? And you know that in the decision makings that you've made, you gotta follow through with those things, right? So let me get straightened out here. head of house, father, husband, community. What is that in your relationships as a man? Or are you doing to, like I said, kind of what goals do you run by? What kind of and what's your rules, man? What kind of personal rules you got? You gotta have some personal. You got some personal rules for yourself. Like you have some things that keep you dedicated, just like lifting weights. Religiously, you take the vitamins. What do you do in your relationship religiously? Because you were married for a minute.
Yeah.
Most people can't even say that. Listen, they talk about most people can't stay. Most people can't keep a relationship for, you know what I'm saying? And they swipe left and swipe right, and they up and down. So many people are bouncing around, but all those people are out there right now bouncing around. They're on these spaces. They say they're looking for that long term. What kind of rules do you keep as a man to keep your long term?
So a little background too, man. Look, I was a man whore for a long while, man. I was out there. I had probably a girl for every day of the week, right? But again, we talk about evolving, right? You're going from this guy who's out dating, having relationships, not serious relationships, not long. Some of them could have been long term, but relationships. And then you move into, all right, we're married now, not living together. We're married, right? We got a piece of paper with our name on it. We got property with our name.
This is the only marriage you ever had, right?
Look, I'm one and done. I already told her I'm one and done.
You're one and done.
I'm one and done. I'm out. If I'm out of here, gone. Now she killed me. It could be the chili guy. It could have been the chili guy. But
she gonna get all three of us. She's like, go to your show. Talk about the coronavirus. I told you to wear a mask. I got you. What's in the bottle?
But the thing is, so we have to learn. I had never been with someone like that on that level. We have to learn to be together with the opposite sex, with your other half. And so for me and my wife, man, first thing I know is, damn, I never was able to work with someone so well. We were partners. We were like knocking out projects together. Okay. I tested her to make sure, let me see if she's an honest woman and stuff. Left that money out there. I left the bank account open, all that. But the thing is, as men, I think we have to learn how to be with women. And I'm talking about this is long term. I've made the commitment to say one and done. But I also said a long time ago, and because I felt that this was a message that God gave me. And I wasn't in the church at all back then. What I felt was, I said, you know what? God put us together, and I'm with you as long as you want me. And I told her that, and that's really been my decree since we met. I said, look, I'll be with you for as long as I can. As long as you want me, I'm here.
Yeah.
Now, the day you come up and say, you know what?
You think I'm out?
You done ran out of road, bro. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to take advice when I hear it. You gave advice last week when we were in here. You refortified some things in me. And I was like, you know what? Because you had a conversation with someone. And I said, you know what I got to do? I know you weren't talking directly to me, but I said, man, that message was for me.
Yeah.
You cannot be too grown to take advice from someone, even if that message isn't coming for you. Even if you were telling a story, I was here because that message in reality was served for me as well.
I think that was the gentleman who stopped by. We were talking about the house things going home.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's just a simple question.
Yeah,
right?
we cruise by a lot, and I think we, that's what hit me, man. That's what really hit me hard. Right around the first year, I took a check at my life, right? Because I'm loving the entrepreneurship. I'm loving all the things that come along with it. I'm loving I'm loving the hustle. I'm loving the projects. I'm loving, making my own stuff, getting my own product line. All these things were going on good for me. And I'm like, I stop and I look. And I was like, my dad said something to me that's very profound. I mean, I lost my dad at 18 years old. My dad was 39, had a massive heart attack. He said something to me like that hit me really hard because my dad was a minister. He's a deacon of the church, a Sunday school teacher. He's at the prayer meetings. I grew up in the Bible Belt, hardcore. We going to church. The same group of dudes that I know on Facebook today that we may have, our lives might have went different ways, but due to the power of the internet, the same guys who picked on me for having to go to church on Sundays are now taking their kids to church and sharing like, hey man, what's up? Go to church. Da, da, da. But growing up, I watched my father do what he was very passionate about. Like that was his life, right? He was passionate about it. And the time that we had together, he gave me like these little golden nuggets. You know what I mean? Like those little things. And I think as a father, what I did is I've tried to take the things I loved about my father and kind of adjust the things that I wish I would have had more with him. You know what I'm saying? But my dad said something to me very profound. We're riding along in the car, right? You got to have a talk with your kids, right? You have to. That talk has to happen. You're going to have the talk because you don't want their friends telling them something else. And now they got the internet. They can find all kinds of stuff on there. Maybe I'll embarrass my own something one day about how it went down. But we're in the car, and my dad just riding along, man. We're coming home from church. He turns the radio down, and he says, sometimes it feels good, sometimes it don't. Doesn't always make it right, doesn't always make it wrong. I didn't understand what he meant, you know. And he goes, I'll tell you something. He says, you know, I love your mother. So, yeah, I know you love my mom. You know, I see it. I see the way you guys have that, you know. I knew my dad in a way that nobody else knew him. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad was somebody to everybody else, but he was somebody totally different to me because I was so hurt, like so close and so personal. And he was, he said, you know, I loved your mom. He said, but I didn't realize how to love your mother for 11 years. He says, I was married to her for 11 years. I loved her, was in love with her,
Right.
but I didn't know how to love her.
Right.
And I was like, what do you mean you don't love mom? Like, my first reaction was like, my mom, dad, my dad, but about to tell me they're going to get into it. Because I watched my mom and dad fight, man. They had some drag outs. Like, but what everybody's parents is going to have some arguments. They made it through. You know what I mean? And when he's talking about how to love my mom, I realized that that's the times that he was talking about, like, you know, what I try to share to other men is what my dad told me. Listen, if you come home as a father, as a leader, you know, your husband and everything else, like, you're trying to love your kids, you're trying to take care of your job. That's hard enough to work that 9 to 5 for somebody else. Past that is coming home, taking care of the household, dealing with whatever's happened. Because I was a bad kid, you know what I'm saying? We wait till your daddy gets home. Y'all often I heard that. Like, if I had $1, I didn't even need $1, man. I probably need a nickel for every time I heard it. You wait till your father gets home. Wait till your dad finds out. Because I knew I was in for it, you know. But what really stuck with me is not the times that he busted my tail, not the times that he, you know what I'm saying? And my dad was real good about holding, like, he'd set you down, get you in that conversation, make you search deep within yourself. You know, I didn't even, I was never going to need a therapist because my dad would make me find parts of myself that I didn't even know I had. But when he was talking about loving my mom, that's what I try to explain to especially lately, the other men. Let's listen, man, if you come home and she's at the house, you a king. We hear that all over the internet, right? Internet, day to day, right? I'm a king. I'm a ruler. I'm this, I'm that. How hard are you carrying that? Because you need to come home. The dishes ain't done. Don't say nothing to her. Go do the dishes. Laundry's not done. What you think? You so grown you can't do your own laundry? Do your laundry. The house ain't clean? Clean the house. Kids ain't got their homework done? Take a minute to let her know you're there, right? But you show her you love her by serving her. You show her how much you love her by, when you get there, you don't want to be mad. You've done left everything else that could possibly be wrong. That woman you marry should be the happiest thing you can ever get to. And if you don't have that kind of happy right now, you divorced, right? Get separated kid, you got some separation thing you're dealing with that, right? I dealt with that. I dealt with having something that I could not control the other person. And when I met a church pastor once, he said, you know, the problem is that you know how to run and do the marathon, go. He said, you never took time out to teach her how just to walk. Because you were too busy running.
Right.
And expecting her to be on your level. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe y'all aren't. You get a wife that's on that level. Y'all are on that same kind of level. And I say more often now, I meet men, and I'm like, hey, man, how's things at home? Forget everything else, man. I don't care about your job. I care nothing about how your job's going. You know, what all your other stuff. If you come into contact with me lately, my big deal is, man, how's things at home? How's things with the wife? Because I'm gonna tell you, I love my kids. I love my kids. It hurt having to share households and not have their mother that I love so much that they were created with not be there with me to share those memories.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which has still caused some rift even after all these years. But at the same time, it was take what happened to me and say, hey, man, listen, if you don't want to end up where Charles Rogers was, you might want to make some changes. You know what I'm saying? You might want to do things differently, because that argument that you have today over whether or not the laundry got done, the dishes got done, you know what I'm saying? Y'all not telling her, listen, you go cut your own grass because that's just good, healthy exercise for yourself. Go out there and smell it. You know what I'm saying? Take care of it. I enjoy it. I have the shop. I live in an apartment. Right now, that's just the way life went for us. I go cut the grass behind my shop. You know what I'm saying? Just because I like the way the grass smells. You don't know what you have till it's gone, right? Or till you no longer have it. So just the little simple stuff like that. But imagine, I try to tell these guys, what if I told you you have the chance right now to make that different? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a one and done kind of guy. You are one and done because you're sold into the fact that you're already being the helper that she needs already. You're not just leaving it all on her to take care of everything. You're the kind of person that comes home, and I've watched you guys. I've watched I watched you guys together out there, and I see how you guys work together. And that's the kind of relationship that men themselves, like, there's a lot of dads out there, they're not teaching their sons how to be that, right? They're not raising a son that they want their daughter to be married to. And that's a big thing. Like, we keep putting it. Listen, we keep putting. I'm get off on a whole nother subject. We keep putting it off on women all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do yourself a favor. Don't put that girl in a position where she has to make a choice. Control yourself. Control yourself first and foremost. And if you put yourself in a position where you give her the rights over top of your bloodline, you're not giving her anything. This isn't about just, you know what I'm saying, hump it and dump it. Because that's a pot. Come on, bro. Playboys, right? I'm retired, full retired. But what made those years so easy for me was like, I knew I wasn't going to get caught. But that early life choice that got made for me to have a vasectomy, I knew I could get away with whatever. That's different. Not everybody has that kind of thing. If mine had been the other way, bro, I'd have 12.5 kids. I'd have all kinds of problems. We definitely wouldn't be sitting here. I'd probably be sitting underneath the I-10 holding the thing saying, please help, got 100 kids. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. So since I don't have that, and I look back in retrospect, I'm not trying to fix what I came from. But what I am trying to do is try to divert other men from going through, like my dad said, hey, man, I didn't know how to love your mom. What do you mean? Know how to serve her. So busy trying to have her taught. And I run into a lot of, especially young men who have that kind of mentality, like, I'm going to take care of it. I'm so da-da-da. No, bro, you're not. You need that. You need her as a help. And you need to take care of her, but what are you doing to lead her? Because your kids are going to see that, right? Your kids are going to see that you come in and how their parents and healthy relationships are they're just naturally going to, for whatever I say, somebody's going to go out there and fact check me and give me a whole bunch of crap. I don't care. But if you're good and healthy between the two of you, I think more often than not, you're going to have good health. You're going to produce good, healthy offspring. So we're all worried about, how do we get here? You know what I'm saying? How do we get here? How do we get to this spot where we're going to have, I'm telling you, we got tons of stuff to discuss because, like Ray said, I'll talk about it forever. How do we fix it? How do we overcome? And that's what I say. I think love at home, it's where we begin. You know what I'm saying? Fix it. You got to go home and start. Anybody right now, if you're a husband, you're thinking about being engaged, you're going to get married, you want to have a family one day, listen to me. You don't want to be where Charles Rogers. You don't want to be where we've been, where you're separated from your kids. You went through a separation of your kids because it was for work.
Yeah.
I went through a separation of my kids because the government stepped in and was like, well, since y'all can't get along, we going to interject. You know what I'm saying? So these things kind of keep flowing together for me.
But I think we have to have these conversations.
Yeah.
Look how you affected dude when you talk to him.
Oh, yeah. The dude cried. Like I said,
but who else asked him that? We have to have these conversations where we're able to talk about these type of things, because you probably struck a chord somewhere deep down in dude where nobody was talking to him like that before. Nobody asked him that.
Well, he said
he would continue that same pattern had you not opened up the conversation for him.
Well, that's part of what I'd love to have the guy have that to play back, but it's kind of what he said. I was like, hey man, how'd it go? He said, man, he married his father-in-law. He worked for his father-in-law. So he married the boss's daughter.
Oh man.
And I was like, that years you guys were dating, right? Leading up to that, like on Friday, she knew she was getting a paycheck. She wore a little more makeup. She looked a little better because she knew you was coming to see her. And when they knew that kind of hit it off, I was like, y'all probably had this at one time. I was like, you had that, like, what they say, like the honeymoon's over kind of stage, right?
Yeah.
The honeymoon's over if you just let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's no the rest of that life is going to get in the way. But if we as men put the effort in, and if we don't have to, I don't know how many people are going to watch it, but I'm not trying to help everybody. I'm trying to help one person. If I can help one person not go through what I went through for those years, because it was what I went through, not knowing how to love my wife to start with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then having that brokenness, and then I got an awesome relationship with my son. My son's awesome. My daughter's awesome. I don't get to see her as much as I used to. But when they were here, being an entrepreneur and all this stuff ties together. And that's why I say I got a chance to drop my kids off at school every day. For the most part, about 90% of the time, I took my kids to school, picked my kids up. I got a chance to raise them. You know what I'm saying? Thankful for all them things. But just because God made it lucky, not to say lucky, just because God blessed me in such a way that I had that life. I mean, you can not have to face the kind of things that we faced, especially at 43. So if I'm talking to 20-year-old me, I'm telling 20-year-old me to do some things different, right? Because at 20-year-olds, I was already facing being a father. I'm already headed down that path. You know, I wish I could have went back and had that conversation with myself, but I can't. I get around these young guys, I'm like, man, men, stop blaming the girls because they're too fast. Pick a different girl. Why are you blaming her? I thought she was a king. I thought she was a man. I thought that you telling me that you so big and bad, can't nobody control you. You can't even control yourself. I know. I was that guy. I couldn't control myself. I didn't listen to the words of my father. I didn't listen to the good instruction. You know what I'm saying? My dad didn't have to crack the Bible open to beat me over the head to tell me that Jesus loved me. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to go, the 10 Commandments say da 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 da. He was living in front of me, And even himself, I think he tried to raise me and my brother and my sister in such a way that, he was trying to help us not go through the same things that they went through, So and it's a hard, difficult thing to stop. And if you're going through that situation right now, as a father, man, be present. What's done is done. Be present, because your kids. That was the other thing I heard. I don't think I've already talked about earlier. You're gonna know somebody. Look at his children. She ain't got to be there for you to be, for you guys to have that. For you to have a relationship with your kids, it does not require her. But in order to miss that step totally entirely, is to make sure that you're taking care of home first. That's it. I think that's the whole answer to everything. We're not looking for the government. Listen, if you don't want the government coming in taking, telling you what you're going to do in your own house, take care of home. And that's where I kind of want to get to with this is like, we got some people that I've already talked to that are going to want to come in. We're going to interview them. They're already other entrepreneurs, business owners and fathers and such. But holding ourselves, like, hold yourself responsible. That's the thing about the diet. Like, how many times you competed? Nobody can get you on stage, right? Nobody can get you on stage.
No.
You have to want you have to want to get there. You don't go from, you know what I'm saying, to down to where you own your perfection without putting the hustle. You have to put the work in. And that's what I think all of life requires is like, everybody wants to but they want to start to, don't wait till tomorrow to stop being a good father today.
Yeah.
Don't wait till tomorrow to start being a better husband. The minute you realize that there's a mistake, if you're not man enough to fix that mistake from the start, you ain't got nobody to blame for that mistake tomorrow.
That's true.
Nobody's gonna. You got nobody else to blame except for yourself. Because let me tell you something: the devil didn't make me do it, bro. I'm just being honest. The devil did not make me do it. I did these things in myself. I made those choices.
You chose.
I chose that. If I could go back and re-talk to myself and have maybe a few more years with my dad, would that have changed anything? No, I had to go through what I had to go through. But what I'm trying to say, like I said, to share with other people is that you don't have to go through it. There's a time and a place to change what you're doing now, because you don't want to go to where you're separated from your kid for a minute. The work thing is hard enough to miss out. It's a whole nother where that there's a hope and a light at the end of the tunnel, that one day you're going to have that. It's a whole nother one to where for somebody to be on the other side of the situation where you waited a year. That's a hard time, but that's a lot of time to wait. And why? You're not waiting a year because it's just the mother's not saying you can't see the kid. You're waiting a year because the government's sitting around saying you can't see your kid.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, and not that it's a terrible thing that's happened for now. And I know, like I said, we sat and talked. I saw your heart breaking over it. I really can tell you genuinely love your daughter. You know, and that's huge because you want to have and spend that time with them. But let's just think about for the other guy that's say 18, 19, 20 right now, 25. They want to talk to him and say, hey, man, you don't want to end up where I was at.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way to do things. You can take care of her, all right? But maybe not choose such a crazy her. You know what I'm saying? Because how many times you know some guy, we know young men right now, and you talk to him and you're like, what happened?
Even young dudes, man.
And even older dudes, yeah.
35, 45. There are people that are repeating the same mistakes, bro.
Right.
So
And then
it's
they
not
blame.
young dudes. I'm not going to talk about. We're just talking about young dudes. We're talking about men in general. Let's just say men in general.
Stop blaming her.
You're picking the wrong women. You're picking the wrong
Yeah,
women.
start. Take responsibility for what it is, you know, and deal with that because if you have, you know, what's funny is if you have that relationship and you have a child, she's always going to expect stuff from you. Y'all split up. The way things are, like I said, the way the world of mess is, well, kids more often times are going to go with their mom. Now you got to go work harder, do more, take care of her, and then take care of yourself, and then make time for your kid. You can bypass all them things, man, if you just have a better relationship today. You know, it's not if you're in them situations and it's already too late, man, be present. Be present. That kid needs you to be present. Don't go adding extra stuff to your life that your children don't need. You know, don't go put you as a father. You're not going to go out right now. You're talking about paper plates, right? You're not going to go out there and put yourself further in debt to hurt your kids financially.
No.
Why would you do that spiritually or mentally? You know, why would you put that charge on your kids to step yourself further into bad things when you're already the adult, you're already the parent, and once you have children, that choice for you is no longer about you. What should drive you is because of the children. You know, they say, oh, well, they stay together for the kids. No. What should drive you is because you love you. That's the one scripture that gets me, right? That scripture, now I got to bring that back a little bit as we're wrapping kind of down, is that for God so loved the world. I lived that. Even when my life wasn't right with Christ, I was living that scripture. For God so loved the world that he gave his own. He gave his best.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And when I became a father, I might not have had the most expensive this, that, and the other, but I gave my best. It was when I was coming back from Florida. You know, if you're coming back from Florida, you're riding to Louisiana at late at night. If you've ever been on I-10, you know this. There's not a whole lot to listen to, but there's ministers to listen to. I had a good job, 6 figures a year. Things are, you know, I'm making bank. I'm living life. And I hear this minister come on and say, you know, the problem is you fathers, you're too busy putting Jordans on your kids' feet. You're too busy buying this. You're too busy, and you're not investing for your kids. And I mean, it hit me because my kid had custom shoes. We spent, and we're blessed enough to have custom shoes on my kid's feet. Then custom shoes was only going to last his feet for all of about 3 to 6 months with the way they grow. I'd have done a whole lot more if I'd have taken that $200 and put it in a savings account 15 years ago or whatever, 15, 16 years ago, and handed in that deposit years later. He didn't need them shoes, bro. There was no reason to invest in that kind of stuff in my kids' life. We so busy letting the outside influences into our homes, bringing the outside in with us, you know what I'm saying? But because you so love, you love your kids. You love your kids. You out there right now, you love your kids. What are you doing? Are you giving your kids your absolute best? Your absolute best. What part of you are you giving up that you no longer need so that your kids can thrive? Because we talked about that. We have the coronavirus and, the kids, we're trying to survive. Surviving's not enough for me. As an entrepreneur, surviving is not enough. Waking up knowing that the bills are paid and I'm going to be okay and I don't have to overly stress and concern myself with a lot of things, that's a good feeling. But that's a good feeling if you you make 50,000 a year or 500,000 a year. Waking up knowing that you're living with inside your means and that everything's okay, that's a good feeling. You're on top of it, right? Because you're not overly stressed. Getting past that is the best that you get, because when you go to work, what do they want? Oh, you want the raise? Right. Oh, you want a promotion? No, you're looking to get yourself up a little bit, are you? You know, let's get you there. What do they want?
You need to get those arms bigger, right?
Yeah. But they want your best. Everybody else, except for the people that we're actually getting our best to, is getting the best of us. Yeah. Stop letting everybody else get your best, man. Get your best at home first, bro. You know, especially, I said, we can go on for days and days and days.
You're right, though.
Yeah, but get your best. And that's the same thing. Like, if you want to win the bodybuilding competition, how do you get there? You give your best. You know that you're going to put the work in. You're going to be dedicated. You're going to show up on time. You're going to get underneath the weights. You're going to do. But what are you trying to do? You're trying to outdo the guy next to you, because that's the competition. When you're at home, the only real competition you have is the same one you have. If your bodybuilding mind is correct, the only competition, the person you're in competition with, is you.
That's right.
Yeah.
You trying to be your best for you.
Always.
You know. So are we doing that? I don't know where we at. Where we at on time?
150.
150. So
Man.
for those of you who still followed along,
We
up
still
to this
got.
point,
We got 8 people.
we got 8 people. We got 8 people following. So is there any more, like, say, questions? Any topics you guys would like to discuss? Because I think we've already pretty much touched everything I wanted to touch on today, even to success. Like, I think all that kind of ties.
Yeah.
We took a couple of topics from Ray this week. I'm looking for a couple of topics that people would want to discuss. You know, we're going to further on. We're going to follow up with. We can agree. We're going to follow up with the coronavirus thing. There's some other ones. I say there's a lot of other ones I'd like to touch, like the straight thing lately. Like, I mean, I think men in general, right? Because I'm tired of people putting it about color, man. I think men in general are under attack. I think we are. We getting beat up.
I'll tell you who's really under attack. We can put this on another cast.
Go ahead.
The white male is currently under attack.
And he's not far. And you know why? You know what I'm saying? You know why he's farther? You know why he's under attack? I'll go ahead and expand on it now.
So you agree with me?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
I'm
But
just
you know,
checking.
but you know why? You know
Write that
why?
down.
Because they have spent enough time beating the black male to death.
But it's not. It's not.
No, I'm
it's
saying
not. It's not.
they have-
Dear black people, the white male currently, I believe, is under attack.
I think let's say we go
Me
into
Too, Me Too movement. There are a lot of current movements that are starting to, but it's the crux of it all. It's all leaning to.
they've
I want
already
to get into it.
they've
Don't
already
get something else.
no. Let's say for me, they've already put such an attack on breaking down the family dynamics. They've spent a lot of time the past 60, 70 years, because like, we had that conversation too, like, especially for young black men. They get that, hey man, by the way, you know how many of you are going to be in jail? How many of you are going to be in prison? They've already poisoned that mind out enough that they've got that kind of group under control. I think this is all about, and now what are they? The next thing that they're going to go after is, like I said, I do feel that way. I do feel like they are under attack. But even more than that, it's just everything that normalcy. Like, we're letting far too many small people get up in a rile in their groups and stand up and tell us, take more and more from us, right? And I said, I love this. We can talk about all those, all those ethnicities. I'm totally against taking. I do not personally, as an entrepreneur, I'm going to tell you, I don't go down to Home Depot and buy workers. I don't do it. I don't agree with what happened years ago, and I don't agree with what's happening now. No way. I'm not okay with belittling another person. It bothers me. It bothers me when people get up there and say, hey, man, somebody can do it. I say, yeah, so-and-so's going to do it cheap. Why'd you sell that dude cheap? You just told everybody that guy has very little value. You just took his value and crushed him. Without that man even being present to put value for himself. And let's say, if I come to you and say, hey, man, how much you charge me a training? How much you charge me? How much? What, $100 a month?
Nah, you my boy.
So I'm getting a double
I got
discount.
a special
$200.
price. I got a special price.
So, but I'm saying, if you want to take somebody in and say, hey, man, I'm going to work out with you.
So here's what has to happen. I should know what happens. You have to value your own work.
Right.
Your own work. If you give, we're boys, that's different. But if I come to you and say, hey, look, man, I'll train you for $2 a week.
now somebody believes that my value is now worth $2.
That's true. Yeah.
So they don't take it serious. They don't take it. I've given people breaks on training. I've given them breaks on, because we would do meal plans and everything too. They don't take that value. They think that, because then it's not worth. It's really not worth.
Yeah. Like I say, it's breaking down. I see that.
So you have to, this is on the entrepreneurship side too. You have to
establish your worth.
Like,
know what you're worth.
You can do all the work and say, look, I'm not going to charge you labor. I'm just going to charge you the parts and a little bit of time for some other stuff, but not my labor. Then you're selling yourself short. Mm-hmm. You have to put your labor costs in there. And guess what? You can't be really generous with your labor costs. If you're going to set your labor costs at X, it's got to be X.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do that.
The thing is giving those people like allowing people to listen. You can't get Taste of Texas on McDonald's money.
But nobody bargains on. Hey, look, okay. AT&T says, look, I need you to pay $200 a month. Nobody talks to AT&T.
Give me a break.
You got a big point right there.
Come on, man.
No, and nobody
just pay it.
Nobody goes into McDonald's and says, I like that 99-cent cheeseburger, but can I get it for $75?
Nobody.
What they're going to tell you? They're going to tell you no. So the thing I said, wrapping up with entrepreneurs, is being an entrepreneur, understand something. People are going to constantly test your value. They're going to constantly test how much you're worth, because they're always going to be looking for a deal. And if you don't give them a deal, they're going to go somewhere else. The hardest thing I had to learn how to do running my own business is tell people no. And I don't talk. You know me. My mouth here is not the same as what it would have been if we'd have done this 2 months ago. Because I'd have been dropping F-bombs all over.
I know. I was trying not to curse.
I would have rained.
I was trying not to curse.
I would have rained this place down with the F-bombs.
It's like speaking French.
Right.
Wait.
But it got to be so frustrating when people would come in and they say, hey, man, but I want to get it done. Can I get you? But, in my mind, I say, don't be discouraged if you're an entrepreneur, father, getting along. You keep holding the line and keep producing quality. The right customers are going to show up.
That's what it's
I'm not out here trying to say.
quality.
I'm not out here trying to sell you. I'm not out here trying to sell you McDonald's meals.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But I'm also not trying to sell you, the most high-end meal where you can only come eat once a year. I'm trying to make sure to provide you something that you're able to come and be frequent and enjoy what we have to offer based on our quality.
I think you can provide high quality. It's still at an affordable price. Now, it's not going to be cheap, but it's going to be affordable. If you want me to start cutting corners, that's the type of work I can't do. If it's about your safety, I'm not going to cut corners and put your safety. You're not going to do half a car.
No. I've had guys, they come in and they want to get a raise, they want to get a roll cage. And the first thing I ask them is like, how fast you want? Because there's two questions, right? I'm always looking for the right answer for these guys, because I want to give you, I'm not trying to give you what you don't need.
That's right.
I'm trying to sell you exactly what you do.
Right.
Because I know
custom fit.
And once I give that to you, it's fit to you as a person. Whether the guys come in, they sit in their own seat, and we adjust the cars to them, make sure everything fits around them the best we can, or whatever. Whatever it is. But I'm not trying to overcharge. But sometimes you get people priced, and I'm like, "Ooh, man, that's expensive." Dude, so's a funeral.
Damn, that's a good one. I never thought about that.
Because then what happens is you come and buy some product from us. You're trying to sell the best beef, right? Because this is the way you feel that the beef is best.
Yeah.
And there's probably 10,000 other people right now that if we really search hard and far enough, we're going to find 10,000 other guys just like you trying to sell the best beef.
Yeah.
But we're trying to make sure that your product is the best product that it can be for your customer clientele base. And then you're not trying to upsell or oversell anybody else, to try to get over on people. You're just trying to make enough money to keep the business alive, make a little more. And what most people don't realize as an entrepreneur, you're going to spend more time making less than you've ever made in your life get up.
I'm like Bluebell. I eat all I can, and then I sell the rest.
We got somebody, I believe, on the next episode, to elaborate more on the labor value conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a personal experience for ones watching to relate to. Keenan.
Keenan,
I'm gonna tell you what I like about Keenan real quick. He's another good friend. We'll have him in here with us one day. Keenan, since you're on, I know you're still watching. Go ahead and reply yes that you want to come in and sit down and have something to eat with us. We'll break some bread with you.
Break some bread. Let's break bread.
Yeah. So
rompiendo pan. I said that in Spanish at the office, and they're like, "Oh, that is
But
breaking
yeah,
bread."
it's getting in there. Like I said, I love this guy's OCD. I love his OCD, and at the same time, sometimes our greatest asset can be our worst enemy to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We spend a little too much time. I know I do that, man. I get so involved in what I'm doing that I spend a little too much time on that. But it's because I love it so much. Most Def, he said, yeah, Most Def will come in. This guy's awesome. He's another person that, really awesome people, great friend, great father, super dude. But yeah, so guys, don't sell yourself short, man. Hold the line, and that's one of the things that when I started my business and people have asked those questions, and we're gonna definitely try to continue. We're trying to build a network group. We're gonna try to get some other things together. A community group of people who are like-minded, and we're pushing. We're gonna get more done as a team, right? There's more people getting this stuff, getting on, doing it together. We're just, I said, I'm not by any means no doctor, no psychological. I have none of those traits. I have none of those things that people say. But what I definitely have is I want to just share the experience I've had with other men. Trust me, man. I like what you're doing. I wanted to do this, man. I don't even know the computer. I don't know the microphone. You know what I'm saying? Is this thing on? I don't have one of these, But the same thing when I walked into a gym, I didn't have the skill set that you had. I feel bad because I'm sitting here like I'm feeling scrawny, bro. Like I'm hoping I'm gonna eat some more of this. I'm gonna keep a little bit of this and pound the protein in.
So keep the chili, keep the bread, man. That's for you guys, man. We got something to that.
So before we wrap up, like what's on the table? What's on the menu for next week? What are we doing?
Gosh, we're gonna have to make it next Wednesday.
Not next Wednesday.
Not this Wednesday.
After that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a break from next Wednesday.
Okay.
Because I forgot the last month I had somebody interviewing this.
Right.
But that's it.
Well,
after
that's
that, that it's locked every Wednesday.
Locked in every Wednesday. So we'll
Except
take my
next
mom.
week.
Guys, everybody say hello to Pamela.
Hey, Pamela.
Mom, thank you for giving. You don't understand. Like, this woman should be blessed because you give birth to a legend, and I love you for that. I love to tell that.
Let's do this too. Let's have people that they can reach out to our group.
Yeah, it just grew.
Something that they want us to talk about.
Yeah.
For next time.
Yeah.
So that way, we can go through that and we can tailor make, because we go off on tangents, but we'll try to talk about what we can with the guys, with everybody.
And I definitely like to. Like I said, we are moving into the new shop. April 1st, we will open the
doors. April 1st.
Down at the new shop. So
it's April Fool's.
I wish. It's great though. Lucky, you know what I'm saying? Everything, man, the whole thing just plays together. Like everything, we'll go through that person one day. I'll tell you the whole why this is so significant for me. Like it's Good Friday. You know what I'm saying? It's the Thursday night. This is about Christ, like my life. Think about it, bro. I get a new birth and a new shot.
I don't believe in
resurrection. I don't There's no quiz. I get a resurrection weekend restart of a shop at something that's more than I could do. It was one thing when I moved in here and did metal fabrication. Then when we thought we were going to start getting into cars and the rest of the stuff, and like how far we've come, and then like giving that over to God and watching Him give an increase that I'm blown away. I'm
real quick, and I believe this, especially with what you said. I believe that we need to give our best to God. So whatever you're doing at the new shop, remember to give your best. I mean, that's the offering that we give back to Him, is our best.
Right.
So as an entrepreneur, for me, that's my new drive. I'm going to give my best to God. And that could be donating to the community. That could be giving time inside our community or somebody who needs it. That's really how God works through us too, man. Is inside of it, if we're giving our best, because you've done things for people before, man, and they never even asked for it. But to do that, that's building our community, which is a real strong word for us right now, to build that community and support one another. I think that's huge, man.
That is true.
That, and I'm sorry, I had to tell my mom I love her probably. Like, I love you. I love. I'm gonna get emotional. I love you, mom.
You gotta love your mom.
Yeah, that doing that. That's one of the things we practice at work, and I'm gonna shut this down soon. But when people come in, I'm like, why are you like that? And I didn't do this for you. I don't know, and I say getting close to the end, how many people you can say really doing what I wrote this stuff down as a little kid. What do you want to be when you grow up? Man, I don't want to be a doctor. I'm an astronaut. Man, I want to build cars. I sat at 27. We'll share that story again one day. Like I sat at at a job reading this Bible, and the guy comes in and gives me a whole bunch of crap. He's like, man, God ain't never gonna, you're never gonna be nothing, man. I said, you don't believe? If I said to God, I believe and wants me to be a car builder, welder, or fabricator, like you can't stop my God.
That's right.
I try to stop my God by going everything else, right? Got lured away by everything else. I still ended up.
Look at that.
You know what I'm saying? So I know I am where I'm supposed to be. I'm on that path, and most people can't, you know, they don't even get to ever experience that. But I don't do this because I'm like, you know what, God, there's so many other things that my life could have led me to. People come in and like, hey man, thanks so much for. I'm like, dude, you realize it might take me a little while to get stuff done because I'm giving you a piece of myself in each of these, like every one of those things, that I love it so much. I get to do something nobody else does. Throw on top of the fact I get to hang out with my best friend, my son, every day, hands down, best life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the rest of it. You know, I can't say I'm seriously overly blessed. My cup runs over, and yeah. And it's not the glory that most people think. For me, running a business isn't about, oh my God, one day I'll be such a millionaire. For me, it's really about being here, being with my son, doing what I love to do so much. And then when I do that, my offering, that 10% offering, is giving God my best by making sure that every time that car leaves, even though there's one thing that I always don't like, you know what I mean? I want to do it to my best of my ability. So I said, I don't want to Bible thump people over the head or anything else. I'm saying, like, you bring up some good points. Like we've all come to a certain place. We've all matured into a certain level. I really feel a lot of community is going to come out of this. My mom said I nicknamed you, or my initial spell Carter. She's like, we knew it. But yeah, so I said, guys, thank you so very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you to everybody who listened in today.
Join the group if you haven't already. Make sure to invite somebody else in.
Thank you guys. Yeah, definitely. We'll keep on pushing it.
2 weeks. We're gonna take a break next week,
2 weeks,
right?
sure.
So next week we're gonna take a small break for a minute,
and then after that, same time.
That's just because, after that we're pick up back on the same time. Which, man, I had a personal thing. I was like, Keenan, I got invited to go to the Text 2K private event for what's coming through, and I was so nervous that I was gonna have to be like, hey man, I've given my heart to God, dedicated to this thing to give some of my life back, and it was going to be a conflict on my scheduling. So thank you for opening the doors.
See, and then we're back on the 24th. That's the next one.
Back on the
24th.
So the 24th. So what are we doing, man? What's on the menu? What are we going to do? If anybody out there really wants to join us and come and hang out, we will need an RSVP so we can make sure that we do have enough.
Bring old Smokey. Throw a couple of T-bones on it.
We have to start a little earlier in the day.
That's why
it's up to y'all.
Hey, I know that this time I'm gonna leave early and come because this traffic was hectic.
Yeah,
I thought I wasn't gonna make it, dude.
Normally I'm supposed to be here about really 20 minutes from the house.
Everybody's out now. I said no mask.
So let's see. We'll in between here and there. Now we'll get a few things. Like I said, anybody, if you guys are interested, and you would like to come and hang out with us, sit and break bread and just be in the audience, would be a little easier to do a little Q&A. Please
taco
like,
night.
share.
I know it's Taco Tuesday normally. Maybe we'll do some tacos.
Hey, that sounds good on Wednesday.
I'm feeling like
wings.
Barbacoa.
Oh man,
I got some barbacoa.
I haven't ate that in over. Now you're talking.
Yeah,
that's off the camp. That's.
Look. I'll stop talking food. Let me stop talking food.
Anyway, we'll find something the next week. We'll find something else. This was really good. Thank you again. The chili.
Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. The kicker up a notcher.
That's the vaccine, man. That'll knock anything out. It'll knock anything.
We're gonna wrap this up, guys. Thank you so very, very much. We're looking forward to spending more time with you guys. Sit down. Like I said, breaking some bread, chopping this up, seeing where we're going to. But Ray, thank you, my friend, for everything. I love you so much. Hey, Zeus, I cannot say thank you enough.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate the opportunity that we have.
Thanks, baby, coming out like that.
Thank you.
That being said, guys,
thank you, guys.
Heavenly Father, send you all on your way safely. Come back safely, and may you all be encouraged and lifted up. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Amen.